Danny Heatley have empowered Ottawa to believe that tonight they can smile their way to the clincher behind Daniel Alfredsson on Versus. The color of the playoffs, all red in Ottawa. You'll find a few black and gold believers in the kid as everyone gets their game face on for Game 5 of the Eastern Conference quarterfinals. This evening, the young Penguins are faced with a grown-up, desperate situation against the Senators, right here at the center of competition, the NHL on Versus. We knew you wouldn't be late for this one. Along with Andy Brickley, I'm Joe Beninati. Bob Harwood in just a moment. We've reached a pivotal point in the series. Andy, dissect these teams and their approach tonight.
Well, the Ottawa Senators, when they take a look at the Pittsburgh Penguins, they see a young, inexperienced team. They don't want the series to go any further than tonight. It ends tonight in their minds. As far as the Pittsburgh Penguins, this will be a tough mental challenge for them, Joe, because they played their best game in Game 4 and still lost 2-1.
Through the years, many top teams have learned that you don't solely realize that you can rely upon superstars to be successful at playoff time. Ottawa has grasped that lesson.
Depth and balance is really what carries the better teams deep into the postseason. Look what Ottawa's been able to accomplish. 10 different goal scorers. That leads the NHL. Compare that to just 5 for the Pittsburgh Penguins. The Ottawa Senators also getting big contributions on the back end, but it's the third and fourth liners that are making the key difference in this series. Chris Neal, better known for his hits and getting under players' skin. Beautiful backhand goal. He's got a goal and assist. Chris Kelly, earlier this year, he had a substitute for the injured Jason Spencer. He's got 2 goals in this series. And how about your fourth line center, a role-playing Dean McGammon? Set up a pair of goals, one by Alfredsson, one by Kelly, and he has a goal of his own. So those third and fourth liners making a huge difference.
Oh, they've been just great. And when you think about Chris Kelly, he's just one of the Senators who's flourished in the understudy role, and he's outside the dressing room with Bob.
Joe, thanks a lot. Chris, the guys upstairs are talking about depth and balance. What's the feeling like on this bench when you can say that guy or even I can carry some offense right now?
Yeah, I think that's what's made our team successful so far. We have 4 balanced lines and all capable of scoring goals and doing the right job out there.
You've got a 3-1 series lead. Are you playing and practicing like a team that still has some things to correct to be on the safe side and on the smart side right now?
Yeah, we got to come out with our best effort tonight, and I think we didn't have our greatest game last game, and we're fortunate to get out with the 2 points. So we got to come out strong, and we need to match their intensity because they're playing for their lives right now.
Chris, thanks a lot. Good luck.
Thanks.
Andy, there's an example of that thinking of as a leader, not just the big numbers from a lot of guys, but pretty much leadership right across the board as well.
And Bob, that leadership has really manifested itself, Joe, through the defensemen. Consider 5 different defensemen have combined for 15 points in this series.
Let's switch it now over to the Pittsburgh side, and we recognize that the burden of staying alive, all of those Pittsburgh Penguins will share it, but perhaps the greatest onus will fall on Sidney Crosby.
Well, whether you're 19 or 29, a first-year player or a 10-year vet, when you lead the National Hockey League in scoring and the stage is at its biggest, you have to perform. Sidney Crosby got his feet wet early in this series, scored a goal in Game 1, had the game winner in Game 2, spectacular goal in Game 3. Game 4, different story. Got shut down, but it wasn't from a lack of effort. He played with desperation and determination. He's going to have to do it again tonight.
And you just know the Senators will put twin roadblocks in his way. Chris Phillips right there at the top of the hit parade, and Anton Volchenkov, a hammer just waiting for the nail. After the break, we send you back to Bill Clement at Hockey Central.
That hurt? Nah. You're all right. We'll put a little ice on. It's no big deal.
You wouldn't make it in the NHL. But you can get inside with VCast. Watch highlights, interviews, and everything hockey. Exclusively from Verizon Wireless.
At Hampton, we love having you here.
When you want to get away,
Let's go, girls!
Enterprise Rent-A-Car will pick you up free. And get you on your way. Pick Enterprise. We'll pick you up.
Heat. Enemy of engines. Enemy of heat. Pennzoil Platinum Full Synthetic with adaptive molecules that continually separate and reform to help conquer heat.
What can you do with the equity in your home? Pay off bills, make home improvements, send your daughter to college, and more. Chase, America's home lending expert, has a home equity solution designed to fit your needs. And with just one call, Chase makes it easy. Take the Coopers, for example.
With Chase, there are no application fees or closing costs. And best of all, we lowered our rate and ended up saving hundreds of dollars.
Thinking of remodeling?
With just one call, we updated our kitchen. At Chase, they let us lock in a balance to a fixed rate. It's all so easy.
That's what you'd expect from America's home lending expert. And at Chase, you won't pay any closing costs. For a limited time, when you open a line of credit or loan, you'll also receive a $250 Lowe's gift card. Apply today. It's as easy as 1, 2, 3.
Call now 1-800-589-1821. Visit chase.com/Lowe'sTV3.
The NHL Stanley Cup Playoffs on Versus is brought to you by Verizon Wireless, official wireless service provider of the NHL.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Hockey Central. Bill Clement, Keith Jones, Brian Engblom. We're getting ready for Game 5. The Sens and the Pens and the Ottawa Senators have just been flat out good in this series. And, Brian, I think if somebody's looking for a weak link in the Ottawa chain right now, good luck.
Yeah, it's not the Ottawa defense, I can tell you that. I've really been impressed by the defensemen of the Ottawa Senators. Volchenkov and Phillips have been the guys that have been absolutely leading them along the way, because it's not just defensively, but offensively. As a group, they've got 15 points more than any other team in the National Hockey League. That means they get the passes up the ice, out of their zone, to the very skilled and talented Ottawa forwards. But on top of that, they have a lot of work to do, shutting down Crosby and Malkin and guys like that. So all around, their work has been really stellar.
And I think most people tonight would say that for Pittsburgh, Sidney Crosby has to be the key. Jonesy, you disagree.
To me, it's Marc-Andre Fleury, the youngest goaltender in the National Hockey League playoffs this season. He has had a tough time against the Ottawa Senators, especially around the crease area. He's only 180 pounds. He's got to come up with the rebounds. He has to be stronger in the net. Ottawa has beaten him from outside on a couple of different occasions as well. It will come down to goaltending tonight. If this game is going to go back to Pittsburgh for Game 6, Marc-Andre Fleury has to be the difference.
And the Penguins have to play beyond their age because they're extremely young. And if Sidney Crosby can dent the score sheet, it'll definitely help the Penguins' cause tonight. To do that, he's got to solve Ray Emery and the Sens. Game 5 next.
Deep in the heart of the Arbuckle Mountains of Oklahoma lives one of the roughest Ford Super Duties ever conceived. Oh, watch this.
He's built Ford tough.
And now you have the chance to own him. Ford Trucks and the PBR are once again providing fans with the opportunity of a lifetime. It's the 2007 Built Ford Tough Battle for the Bull Sweepstakes. 5 finalists will win a trip to the PBR World Finals in Vegas. One grand prize winner will become stock contractor of the Bull Super Duty for the 2008 season. To register, log on to battleforthebull.com. And don't forget to play the Battle for the Bull trivia game to increase your chances of winning. The PBR, Saturday and Sunday nights. The competition is on Versus.
Hey, what in the world are you doing?
I'm playing Battle for the Bull.
Well, what in the world are you doing that for?
I want Super Duty all to myself.
Code Green. I think I've lost him.
Hey, haven't I seen you before?
You sure have. Look out!
Whoa! My car! It's too late to report my claim now.
Don't you have Esurance?
I do.
At Esurance, you can report your claim 24/7, online or on the phone. Always fast and friendly. You'll be back on the road in no time. Duty calls. If you're on the road, you've got to have Esurance.
Save on 24/7 claim service at Esurance.com.
Announcing an exciting breakthrough in automotive technology. Introducing ZNet, only at AutoZone. ZNet gives every AutoZoner the power to find you the right part faster, along with diagrams, photos, and complete instructions. So you'll get the job done right the first time, every time. Come in for a test drive today. ZNet, available only when you get in the zone. AutoZone.
We're going to be swamped getting this shipment out this morning.
Don't worry, I'll use my Nextel. Customs cleared?
Yep.
Containers can go.
All right.
All drivers dock 3.
Okay. Already there.
You're fired.
Businesses now get the Motorola Buzz for just $59.99. Nextel, only from Sprint.
3 teams have the opportunity to put teams into the summertime. Ottawa is one of those 3 as they try to put away Sidney Crosby and the Pittsburgh Penguins. It's Game 5 of the Eastern Conference quarterfinal between these two. Tonight's game puck delivered on time by Luggage Express, the official luggage delivery service of the NHL. To deliver your luggage on time, visit 866-SHIPBAGS.com. Senators back at home and in the red sweaters, leading the series 3-1 and looking for the clincher in front of another sellout crowd, better than 19,000 inside of Scotiabank Place. The Penguins in the traveling whites. Mark Eaton will get it started, and Gary Roberts will clear to center. Roberts, who has drawn the ire of the Senators throughout the first 4 games in this series with his physical play. Right to the front, a great chance there for Alfredson. He may get 2 for $1 as he works to the corner. Sergei Gonchar closing ranks, and Evgeny Malkin leads the Penguins away with Sidney Crosby. Dashing down the wing against Phillips. Phillips keeps him to the outside. That has been the series in microcosm right there, with Crosby throwing all those moves at Phillips and him not buying very many.
Well, it's been a great matchup. Phillips and Volchenkov against the Crosby connection, and the Ottawa Senators defense getting the better of the talented young forwards.
Well, let out of the corner, knocked down. Game's first power play is going Pittsburgh's way. Before we get to the manpower advantage, it was the captain on the doorstep right at the outset.
That was a nice read by Spezza to take the boards away after the body contact and the forecheck by Heatley. And you can see the pass by Spezza to Alfredson. He's going to handle this puck with a skate, but it never gets back to the ice. Hand-eye coordination. He bats it just wide on the short side. Wade Redden with a little stick work to the feet of Michel Ouellette. He'll go to the box.
So here comes the Pittsburgh power play, vaunted as it was during the regular season, but skunked in games 3 and 4 in their barn. 0 for 9 combined at Mellon Arena. A chance for the Penguins to grab the early lead in this do-or-die situation. Christensen fires, and Ray Emery makes a smart-looking stop as you look at the special teams numbers for these two squads. Ottawa's Chris Phillips, who is saddled with 3 minor penalties in Game 4, will clear down just 90 seconds in with the Stanley Cup playoffs of 2007. Our continuing coverage on Versus. Malkin trying to get his offensive game on track. As he sprints to the corner, Alfredson golfs it ahead, and McCammon put it off the rink.
It's going to be a penalty, Joe. It's going to be a penalty. McCammon was just inside his own defensive blue line when he went to the backhand. When he raised it up over the glass, it did not touch anything. And we'll get a little 5-on-3 for extended period of time. Good penalty killing. They were the #1 stars, the penalty killers, in the 2-1 win in Game 4. And they're trying to have a strong start. They're being challenged here right at the get-go. Pittsburgh, who needs something with their power play. Yes, it led to momentum swings in their favor in Game 4, but it wasn't productive in terms of scoring a goal. They need one right here in this 5-on-3.
5-on-3, the 2-man advantage for 70 seconds as Malkin revs it up in neutral. Crosby with Alfredson nearby, shoulder to shoulder. Roberts in tight quarters takes the pass as the Penguins look to sort things through with the veteran Recchi back behind the game. Crosby ladles it for Gonchar. Malkin works on top. Recchi closing. Backdoor look. It was Crosby with a swing and a miss. Alfredson gets it out.
Good patience by the Senators. Just so many weapons for Pittsburgh in this 5-on-3. They had to stay nice and tight in that triangle.
Pittsburgh's numbers in the last 2 games we've documented. You see they got on the board 4 times in this building in the first 2. Recchi looking for a passing lane. Crosby, his intended target was Roberts. Back to point position, Gonchar. Malkin is a great one-timer. So is Gonchar. Blazes this one right to the kneeling Ray Emery. 5-on-3 coming to an end in 6 seconds. Crosby skipping to the front, lets it go, and Emery will squeeze.
Again, great penalty killing by the Ottawa Senators. Puck possession in the offensive zone is a must. The Penguins execute that in the 5-on-3. But the good reads, the good work. Crosby feels he has a step on Phillips, and he does. Phillips using that stick, but using it timely enough that he does not get called for yet another penalty against the Ottawa Senators. See how efficient Sidney Crosby was with the man advantage, a league-leading 60-plus points on the man advantage.
Efficient, that's one word for it. The youngest ever NHL point-scoring champion, Sidney Crosby. He and the Penguins trailing the Ottawa Senators in Game 5 of this series. It is a 3-1 series lead. Nothing on the big board just yet as we cross the 3-minute mark of period 1. Antoine Vermette, ever dangerous with that speed in the penalty-killing role. Not able to beat 3 defenders there. But a bad outlet pass will give Mazzaros time to rag.
Well, we highlighted 3 players in the open about production with the 3rd and 4th lines, but how about the penalty killing from Vermette? He likes to play offense. He's a good goal scorer, but he's been a strong penalty killer along with Kelly up front. They're the first 2 forwards that generally come out to kill penalties.
And the versatility of this man, Christoph Schubert, who just hurt himself and his team. It's Schubert scooping it off the rink for delay of game. Just when I was ready to praise him for his flexibility from wing to D, he makes a boo-boo.
Well, you can praise him all you want because he's been very good in this series. Anytime there's a penalty, say Phillips or Volchenkov, he quickly slides into that tandem depending who's in the box as we get a look at Schubert on the backhand, much like McCammon on the backhand. You don't control those as much as you do on the forehand. The puck can get away from you a little bit if it's on edge. Now it's really working against you.
Ryan Whitney at one-point position. Sergei Gonchar, who had a power play goal here in Game 1. The other. 55 cranks it up, deflected wide. Crosby to the goal mouth. That was answered to. Roberts reels it in. 5-on-4. Gonchar through the screen. Booted away by Emery as the Penguins have the first 4 shots on goal of the contest. Aided by 3 power plays. Whitney backside, Crosby to the front. Wonderful stop there as Emery beat Roberts in tight.
3 real good stops by Emery. 2 on long-distance slap shots. A couple of them from Gonchar, and then that redirect with a feed from Crosby to Roberts.
Ray Emery loves the sport of boxing, and he's been battling in the opening 5 minutes. Facing and staring down, jab and uppercut from the Pittsburgh power play. And to this point, staving them off. Crosby lets it go. That was denied. And Emery makes the follow-up stop, too.
Good effort by the Penguins to keep this play alive in the offensive zone. Just when it appears the Senators are going to get this puck out of the defensive zone, it's Crosby who ends up with it. Curls off the tops of the circles. His quick release is handled by Emery. This is the snapshot out high by Gonchar when McCammon came out of the box. Again, the cross-ice pass from one side to the other. Then Crosby finds Roberts right at the top of the crease, but it's all Emery. Here's a look at that opportunity by Crosby. Not once, but twice. The forehand and the follow-up backhand, but it's been all Ray Emery in this penalty-killing situation for Ottawa.
Wonderful quickness and positioning from Emery. With 15:32 to go in the opening frame, no score. Joe Beninati, Andy Brickley upstairs. Bob Harwood, our rinkside reporter for you with the NHL on Versus. Game 5, a potential elimination game for Pittsburgh as they are fighting to keep their playoff hopes alive. Chris Kelly jets into the offensive zone. Senators looking for their first shot on goal against Marc-Andre Fleury. As Ray Emery's been hogging the spotlight at the other end. Vermette got decked. Fans here want the call, none coming. Referees this evening, Eric Furlat and the veteran Bill McCreary. Christensen back into the lineup, got thumped by Volchenkov. Gonchar turned it right to Chris Kelly, and once again he'll send Pittsburgh packing. 15 seconds left in this short-handed situation. Outstanding penalty killing from Ottawa.
Excellent tandem work, whether it's between the 2 forwards or the 2 defensemen. That time Kelly hand-eye coordination to knock that puck down and then get the clear from deep in his own zone.
Bits and pieces of 2 different 5-on-3s, 3 power plays total, and Pittsburgh remains over as we get the whistle and a stoppage in play and a chance to show you just another example of how physical this series has become.
Anton Volchenkov coming off that game-winning goal performance in Game 4. He also led the club in Game 4 in hits, and he's starting off the same way here in Game 5. Great lateral movement, the willingness to make the body contact. You got to have the courage to do it, the timing to do it, the willingness to do it. He's got all that. Christensen, on his first shift, Joe, had a pretty good scoring chance. from the high slot, a slap shot that Emery got with the right bat, so he's involved. He's trying to show his coach and his team that he's ready to play tonight.
A turnaround slapper as Neal tries to take the turnover there from defender Brooks Orpik, who is backpedaling away from the pressure. We move towards the 6-minute mark of the first period and no score in Game 5 of the Eastern Conference quarterfinal between Ottawa and Pittsburgh. The shots on goal, 7-0 for the Pens. As Talbot bunks it into the corner. The Penguins looking for any momentum. Ottawa head coach Brian Murray was talking about his team's daily penalty-killing meetings. Obviously, the students listened well in the first 6 minutes. They were brilliant with Emery's support. As the fans here serenade the youngster Marc-Andre Fleury, he knocks it down. There's a penalty call to come. We'll tell you who's guilty for the Penguins in a moment on Versus.
Welcome, Davis. Can I help you, sir?
I'll take this one.
Davis gives you free music downloads on iTunes, so you can rock every time you roll.
Okay, now what? Rock, paper, scissors for it? Okay, that's fair. On 3? Yeah. 1, 2, 3.
I threw paper.
I threw a rock.
Refreshingly smooth Bud Light. Always worth it.
Low 5.
Nothing brings people together like boating. Get started with your free DVD at discoverboating.com.
6.5 minutes into Game 5, no score despite a couple of 5-on-3 opportunities early for Ottawa. Brooks Orpik's going to go to the box. He doesn't like the call despite the stick work to the midsection of Chris Neal. It was Neal that had that glove up high by his face that got the Penguins defenseman's attention.
So Marc-Andre Fleury can expect his first challenge now, and one of the principals likely to be Danny Heatley as you look at the power play numbers for Ottawa in this series, just below 24%. They have a power play goal in all 4 games of this quarterfinal round. Jason Spezza bending to the task. Maxime Talbot digging low and winning it for the Pens. Wade Redden keeping it in the attack territory with a little help from Spezza. Colby Armstrong did not get it out. Alfredson on the far flank. Redden and hard-shooting Corvo at the points. Spezza back to the front, swing and a miss for Alfredson, just off the toe of his blade, and Redden will chase it down. Redden coolly ahead, coughed it up. Scuderi sends him all the way back into Emery's neighborhood.
This is one of the adjustments that Brian Murray has made. He has Wade Redden on the first power play unit. It had been Corvo and Pricing, but they're looking for a little more balance in the offensive zone where they can go side to side.
Graphic indicating the success that the Senators have had on the manpower advantage the last 2 springs. You go back to last season's playoffs, they've got power play goals in 7 straight. Alfredson, one of the reasons why. Got it past Fleury on the dump in. Around she comes for Ryan Malone. Stalked there by Heatley. Spezza crowded by Gonchar. 4 in the scrum. Malone wins the battle but doesn't get it past Corvo. He will on the second effort. Penguins are shorthanded and another 45 seconds left in the minor to Orpik. Good look at another crunch in the corner. Redden outlasting Malone. And Corvo now in no particular hurry. Joe Corvo on the feed for Fisher. It was Comrie's pass that didn't get through the lane. Comrie battles to get it back. Fisher finds Neal. Tail end of Ottawa's first manpower advantage. No score in this one. Penguins in the traveling white must win tonight. Fisher scoops it back into the corner. Neal gets jammed by Melikar. Comrie lost it to Scuderi, and away come the Pens with Armstrong using a little shuffleboard back to center. Quick counterattack, and Ottawa is terrific at that. Comrie to the front, knocked away by the glove of Melikar. It'll be Armstrong rumbling back. These two teams at 5-on-5. Colby Armstrong all by his lonesome. Pittsburgh in the middle of a line change. Armstrong to the front. Gobbled up by the defenders. Quick outlet. Right on target from Saprikin. It's 4-on-3, and the Senators don't do much with it. Schubert back behind the goal. Saprikin is there with McCammon lurking in the slot. Funneled to the front. Eaton on the clearing attempt. The teenager Jordan Stahl there to help. Stahl with 3 goals in this series, working with Georges Larac and Jarkko Ruutu on this shift for head coach Michel Therrien. Moving towards the midway mark of a scoreless first period of the Stanley Cup playoffs on Versus. Schubert taken down. Orpik tables it back at center. Hard-nosed customer Jarkko Ruutu guarded by Andre Mazzaros.
You know, we raved about the Senators' penalty killing in Game 4, and certainly at the start of this one in the 5-on-3s, Penguins matched it with their penalty killing.
Crosby scampering in, turns on Redden. Help comes. A quick centering pass, and Chris Kelly was stationed in the right spot. It's a 3-on-2 break for the Senators. Vermette closing in. Drive. That was muffled. Good play. Orpik in front of Fleury. Vermette got it back. Turns right to the crease. Phillips fires, and Larac stepped out to make that block shot. Georges Larac able to clear. Penguins once again want to get fresh troops on ice. Daniel Alfredsson, the captain for the Senators. On for the crafty Vermette. The return to the captain misfires. Recchi, the veteran winger for Pittsburgh, able to clear it on down. Senators still without a shot on goal against Marc-Andre Fleury, better than 10 minutes into the game. Alfredsson from his knees, no problem. Volchenkov puts it high on the window. The Senators will change up on the move. Melikar in a pass that comes through. Willett in on back. Pricing will make the touch-up, and it's an icing call. When we return after the break, Bob Harwood will chat with Gilles Meloche, the net-minding coach for Marc-Andre Fleury on Versus.
When you want to get away,
Let's go, girls!
Enterprise Rent-A-Car will pick you up free and get you on your way. Pick Enterprise. We'll pick you up.
Introducing the Triple Prime Burger, made with prime tenderloin, ribeye, and sirloin, ground fresh.
It eats like steak and cuts like butter.
The new Triple Prime Burger, Ruby Tuesday.
Introducing Jigaloo. It lubricates. It repels water. And it gets rid of telemarketers. Jigaloo makes the world run smoother. Go get it.
Stay tuned for the following public announcement. The government and private banks are liquidating foreclosed homes now. These homes must be sold. Properties may be sold for low or no down payment. For current foreclosure listings, call this toll-free number now. I repeat, this is a public announcement. Government and private bank foreclosures are currently being liquidated. Call toll-free now for the most current foreclosure listings.
Mid-first period in Ottawa, we're still scoreless, and on top of that, Marc-Andre Fleury of the Penguins has yet to face a shot. Goaltender coach Gilles Meloche, what's going through his mind right now since he's been so unbusy?
Well, I'm sure he's waiting for that first one. You like to have it early, you know, especially a long shot, but he's been in the game. He's played a lot of pucks behind the net, and his game's been good so far in the street, so I'm not too worried about it.
With how busy he's been, has a lot of your coaching been technical? Is there some emotional in there as well? Is it a balance right now?
Mainly technical. You know, we talk after every game, try to sell him down, but I think his game has been pretty good.
He's a pretty loose cat, guys. I think we have a good idea of why. Gilles, thanks a lot.
Gentlemen, we appreciate it as Fleury gets his hands on that long wrister from Corvo. Gilles Meloche, 18 years in the NHL, 5 different teams. The Penguins, the last of which he played for.
And no shots until this face-off win in the offensive zone for the Ottawa Senators. Heatley on a backhand in the high slot. Able to get it with the right pad is Marc-Andre Fleury, and then the wrist shot, an easier chance to handle from the left point. He's able to grab it with his glove.
Just another example of all the youthfulness on this Pittsburgh team. Keith Jones mentioned it back at Hockey Central that Fleury is the youngest starting netminder in the playoffs. Facing the challenge of Comrie here, swivels one wide. Gonchar keeps it on the woodwork. Millette didn't get it out, Eaton will. Roberts taps it on. Long strides for Jordan Stahl to send back behind Ray Emery. Emery, the early star of this game in period number 1, with his work on the short-handed situation. Skipping wide for a wrister, Fleury took care of that as Schaefer found an alleyway to move. 8:50 to go in the opening period and no score. Ottawa trying to put the clincher on Pittsburgh tonight.
And Roberts looking for a big hit on Comrie in the neutral zone.
Ryan Murray, the head coach for the Ottawa Senators, remarking during the day off about Gary Roberts and some of his hits, perhaps crossing the line, and then quickly intimating just how much he loves the way the man plays, as this wrister's gloved over top. Ian McCammon with the latest chance. Saprikin to the goal mouth. That too answered by Fleury. Come to think of it, the Penguins do not have a shot on goal at even strength yet in this hockey game. And all 7 of theirs came during that flurry of power play activity. To the front, Malone had stopped for Emery as the rebound pinballs away, and Saprikin will walk it back through center. Schubert was offside on the rush, and we get the whistle.
Well, you talked about the hits and the way that Gary Roberts plays. He went for a big hit in the neutral zone already in this game 5. He gets it on the forecheck. He's been doing this for 20-plus seasons in the National Hockey League. Sometimes, Joe, you mentioned, he crosses the line. The finish is a little bit high, but this guy plays physical. He competes. He's a guy you want to have on your team. The other point that Michael Terry had made, too, was he believes the Ottawa Senators really wanted Gary Roberts at the trading deadline. So, you know, point made. This guy has a lot to offer in the physical department, the veteran experience, his ability to compete, his will to win. They're all on display.
And then right off the dry, Andy, we've got a slashing call coming from referee Eric Furlat, and it's not making the Senator fans happy.
Ottawa number 19, 2-minute days for slashing.
Got them both.
Joe, I want to go back to that sequence of all the penalties to start this hockey game. After back-to-back 5-on-3s for the Pittsburgh Penguins, when Ottawa gets their power play, not as sharp. One of the reasons your power play guys have been sitting for an extended period of time with the penalty killing. So they weren't as sharp as they would have liked to have been 5-on-3. We got to look at the penalties, the matching penalties right off the face-off. The referee's really trying to keep pretty good control of this hockey game with all the penalties we've seen already here in the first period.
So the two centers get the gate for slashing as they were fencing with one another. Spezza and Crosby will have a seat. Ryan Murray's team trying to get to the lead in the opening period. Crosby and Spezza, you think about both of them as youngsters. They've had to deal with the spotlight for a long time and from a very, very early age. As Fisher races back through center. Rink wide pass. Schaefer upset there by Stahl. Ouellette will lead it for Ryan Whitney, and back come the Penguins in white. 4-on-4 play for another 90 seconds. Redden, good angle job there on Stahl. Waltzing back through center comes Schaefer, chopped at by Armstrong and rattled by Orpik, who loves to throw his weight around. Ryan Whitney guides it back through center. Armstrong on the dump in. Talbot over skates. And Redden will work swiftly back. Alfredson leading the thrust. Keeping it on the flank for Heatley. Whitney was there to cancel Alfredson. Mazzaros with a well-timed pinch. Alfredson's pass to the front block. Gonchar on patrol. 50 seconds left in the 4-on-4. 6.5 to go in period 1. Heatley's pass was blocked. Armstrong looking for the easy exit. As he hears the boos, Colby Armstrong still receiving the treatment from the Ottawa fans after his hit that floored Patrick Eaves in Pittsburgh. Eaves still out of the lineup. Ryan Murray saying he's feeling much better. The headaches have subsided.
Still a ways away from actually getting on the ice and trying to get back in the Ottawa lineup. But the Senators are looking to advance in the postseason, and that would be good news for Patrick Eaves.
Chris Kelly right in there. Up front on your screen on the forecheck as Scuderi sends it out for Stahl. We drift below 6 minutes to go in period number 1 as Crosby and Spezza will emerge from the box right now. Joe Corvo puts it into park. Launches it ahead on one big skip right to Fleury. There's no icing. Melikar using the cage for some leverage. Malkin on for Recchi. On the drop. Crosby closing. Rister denied. Follow-up chance. And Emery has that secured. 5:25 to go in the first. Crosby and the Pens trying to stay alive.
Deep in the heart of the Arbuckle Mountains of Oklahoma lives one of the roughest Ford Super Duties ever conceived. Oh, watch this.
He's built Ford tough.
And now you have the chance to own him. Ford Trucks and the PBR are once again providing fans with the opportunity of a lifetime. It's the 2007 Built Ford Tough Battle for the Bull Sweepstakes. 5 finalists will win a trip to the PBR World Finals in Vegas. One grand prize winner will become stock contractor of the Bull Super Duty for the 2008 season. To register, log on to battleforthebull.com. And don't forget to play the Battle for the Bull trivia game to increase your chances of winning. The PBR, Saturday and Sunday nights. The competition is on Versus.
Hey, what in the world are you doing?
I'm playing Battle for the Bull.
Well, what in the world are you doing that for?
I want Super Duty all to myself.
He has been hailed as a prodigy and the future of the game. Yet 19-year-old Sidney Crosby has not cracked under the pressure.
Scores! Sidney!
Now the Pittsburgh Penguins begin their quest for the Stanley Cup, led by 3 young stars entering a world that has always separated the men from the boys. Follow the Penguins' quest for the Cup on Versus and NBC. Then log on to NHL.com for complete coverage of the Stanley Cup playoffs.
Bill Clement here at Hockey Central, where I will be joined by Keith Jones and Brian Engblom for the Dodge Intermission Report. We're going to break down the first period between the Pens and the Sens. We're also going to explain why the New York Rangers are the only team to sweep their way into the second round. First, back to Ottawa. Joe, Andy, and Bob.
Bill, thanks very much. Looking forward to your work during the Dodge Intermission Report. Evgeny Malkin staring some daggers at Danny Heatley as Heatley powers his way to center ice. Some question in the newspapers about whether or not Heatley is battling an ankle problem without his customary burst. Fleury trying to trap it. Heatley with it. Rakes it on back. Phillips fans. Heatley does not. That was blocked, though, with 4 players in front. Ottawa looking for the opening tally on the night. Phillips towards the cage. Gloved down by Heatley. Relays for Alfredson. Blocked by Recchi. Spezza drifting behind the cage. Crosby was right there in tow. Heatley, long wrister. Got to be careful with Crosby on the block. Move for Alfredson. Little curl and drag was well defended. It has been a defensive-minded game in the opening 20 minutes. The penalty killers and the netminders ruling the night.
The power play hurt Pittsburgh the last couple of games down in their own building, and they let him down here in the 5-on-3 situations in period 1. The good news is it's still anybody's game, tied at 0-0.
These are the Stanley Cup playoffs on Versus as Gary Roberts maneuvers down the wing and gets a face full of Anton Volchenkov. The American Hockey League playoffs, the chase for the Calder Cup underway in the top development ranks for the NHL. Well, let's deflector. Just missed. Willett back behind the goal. 22 of the 26 guys on the Penguins roster are AHL graduates. A little less of a percentage for Ottawa. And Wilkes-Barre Scranton again figures to be a threat in the American Hockey League postseason. They are the top development affiliate for these Pens. Orpik golfs it around. Roberts for Talbot. He got sandwiched at center. 3.5 to go in a scoreless first period. Redden, beautiful outlet. It's a bit redundant with him, though. He is so smooth on that first pass. Opening up here for a blast that was blocked. Ian McCammon has been vital to the Ottawa attack. It was McCammon and Comrie and Schaefer working now. Larocque chisels it ahead. Oop! Ruutu got flattened by Mazzaros. And the fans in Ottawa will love that. Mazzaros lost an edge. Talbot helped him down 2. The officials allowing the play to continue. Referees Furlat and McCreary. They were very, very busy in the first 5 minutes of the game.
Almost looked like Mazzaros trying to convince Recchi that he was just going to play the puck, and then he laid a heavy hit on him.
Schubert in, fans. Backhander snatched out of the air. Fleury with a flashy save.
Well, we highlighted the physical play throughout this series, and it has continued here in Game 5. Recchi coming all the way from the left wing position. He thinks he's going to get to this puck first and perhaps step around Mazzaros. Nothing doing. Good body contact at the elbow tucked. No penalty. And then the battle continued back in the defensive zone. But it's been a first period of competition, Joe. Both teams understanding how important this hockey game is to their future in the postseason.
Ottawa under 500 when they have the opportunity to put a team away. That graphic showing you. Corbo's blast was blocked. And that one took a bite out of Ryan Whitney, who stays down on the ice. Whitney in need of some attention. Ryan Whitney staying down and wincing in pain.
Well, we've seen the Penguins, actually both clubs, with a concerted effort to block shots when in a position to block shots. Whitney was a little unsure of whether he was screening his goaltender. Some indecision whether should I block this shot or not, and that indecision can allow that puck to catch him in an area where there's very little padding.
24-year-old Massachusetts native, 4th-year pro, Ryan Whitney, who has been an important cog in Pittsburgh's offense throughout the season with points from the back line. Injured here on a long blast and gingerly making his way back to his skates. 2 minutes and 36 seconds to go in the first period. Pittsburgh and Ottawa are scoreless in this one. The Senators a 3-1 lead. They took both back in the Steel City. Beat them 4-2 in Game 3. Clipped them 2-1 in Game 4.
Joe, we talked about the importance of blocking shots, and Pittsburgh right off the face-off here loses possession of the puck. Nice recovery. Eaton just lays out in order to get that puck. One more look at where that puck catches Ryan Whitney just to the outside of that left shin pad. Cannot afford to lose him. You already have 4 defensemen to play that stay-at-home style. Whitney's a big piece to the transition game for the Penguins.
In transition, here comes Recchi on the clear ahead. Phillips gets there ahead of Malkin. Danny Heatley tied up along the wall. Crosby in a duel with Alfredson. Sidney Crosby. His pass for Malkin a bit strong. Crosby gets a chance to reorganize and then throws it to a vacant wing. Shots on goal are 9-7 for Pittsburgh. 7 of those 9 for the Pens came in the first 4 minutes of the game. Marc-Andre Fleury with the traffic instructions. The chant inside of Scotiabank Place is go, Sens, go. Eaton on through Recchi. Collected by Mazzaros. Booms it off the boards for Neal to send it on back. Andy, this first period has definitely been a bit of a chess match.
It has, and if you're a Pittsburgh Penguins fan, you're disappointed with your power play. You had a chance to take the lead on a number of occasions. They had good looks, they had good chance, but Emery was strong.
Ryan Whitney said it after Game 4. You get 5 chances, you got to convert one of those. They did not. They wound up losing and falling into a hole at 3-1, trailing in this Eastern Conference quarterfinal. Ryan Malone waited for everybody to get back on side. Malone pinched against the boards by Mazzaros. Melakar keeps it in. Final minute of this first period. Malone shifting gears with Armstrong. Armstrong defended by Vermette. Redden comes to call on Talbot. Malone as they work the cycle. These are the kind of plays that Pittsburgh wants to get into. They are a team that has a reputation for all those beautiful, flashy highlight film tallies. They feel they need the gritty, grinding type goals to win this series, as Ottawa is offside.
And they need to play in Ottawa's zone as often as they can. That puck possession is one of the strengths of their team.
This is the 40th anniversary season for Pittsburgh. You see how they have fared when they need to stave off elimination. The Pittsburgh Penguins, when you think about this being their return to the playoffs, they had not been in the Stanley Cup spring since 2001. But back through history, they've won their last 3 first-round series.
And to a man coming into tonight's action, they all said, hey, we're loose, we're confident, we're focused. We feel like we can bring this series back to Pittsburgh.
Right now, they're going to have to penalty kill. In the final minute of this first period, back in '95, Andy, it was the Penguins rallying from 3-1 down to beat the Washington Capitals. It was all clinched with a shutout victory in Game 7 at the Igloo. Twice in their history, Pittsburgh has come from 3-1 down to beat the Caps.
Well, it's nice to have that on your side, but obviously a new year, new bodies, new teams, new coaches. Not a new position for Brooks Orpik, though, here in the first period. His second minor penalty.
So on the bumpy ice surface, the Senators will work 5-on-4. Just 27 seconds to go in the opening frame. Talbot and Spezza, a stalemate on the draw. Punched away by Talbot back to center. Corvo giving ground. He works with Redden in back. Heatley and Spezza and Alpertson across the top. In red for Ottawa if you're just tuning in. Heatley fires. A routine save for Fleury. And this one's cleared back to Ray Emery with 6 ticks remaining. Corvo to the wing. No running room for Heatley or Spezza, and that will do it for period 1, but not without more harsh words exchanged. These two teams have been in a combative nature throughout. The Ottawa Senators have the advantage in the Eastern Conference quarterfinal, 3-1. Both Ray Emery and Marc-Andre Fleury with clean slates after 20 minutes. The Senators in front of their fans. Another hard hitter between these two. Stay with us. The Dodge Intermission Report is coming up. After the break, we're back to Hockey Central. We will check in with Bill Clement, Brian Inglom, and Keith Jones. You're watching the Stanley Cup playoffs on Versus.
The road of tomorrow is being created today. From tires that help make your car more fuel efficient and safer, to earth-friendly production and recycling methods, Michelin is striving to help you find a better way forward. Michelin, a better way forward.
It's Aaron Insurance versus the competition. Will she prevail?
Overpriced auto insurance. Don't try to stick it to me.
Don't worry, Aaron. You've got Esurance.
At Esurance, you save time when you buy auto insurance online. Without interference. Auto insurance hassles, I'll take a pass. Quote, buy, print.
Make it your goal to save time and money on auto insurance. Visit esurance.com today.
Jack Link's Beef Jerky presents Messin' with Sasquatch. Jack Link's Jerky. Feed your wild side.
Hey, you want to see something cool?
Now you can hang out with an NFL quarterback.
Hey, I'm coming to your house.
Fathead is a larger-than-life limited edition wall graphic that brings all the NFL action right into your home or office.
Fathead is huge. That's how big a fathead is.
Just peel and place. Fathead is easy to put up and can be moved over and over.
Coolest thing is, put it on the wall. You don't like it there? Peel it off. Put it on another wall.
Too big and real for stores. Fathead.com's where you can also find all your favorite players and teams. Officially licensed by the Collegiate Licensing Company, NASCAR, the NBA, the NFL, and Players Inc.
Fathead is the coolest thing out right now. You get a fat head.
Fathead are for true NFL fans only.
Take those posters off the wall, kick them out, and put a fathead.
Fathead. Go big. Real big.
Did you call me a fathead? Hello, people in TV land, get a fathead.
The NHL Stanley Cup Playoffs on Versus is brought to you by the all-new 2008 Dodge Avenger. The perfect combination of innovation, bold style, and spirited performance. Dodge, official vehicles of the NHL.
And welcome to our Dodge Intermission Report. Bill Clement, Keith Jones, and Brian Engblom. There's no score at the end of the first period, but not because of few opportunities for the Pittsburgh Penguins. First 5 minutes of this game, the Ottawa Senators handed the Penguins 1 minute and 46 seconds of 5-on-3 power play time, 2 minutes and 14 seconds of 5-on-4 power play time. But Brian, like all good teams, the Ottawa Senators dug themselves a hole and somehow found a rope ladder and climbed their way out.
They were perfect 3 for 3, or they really would have been in trouble. Their interaction and their ability to read off each other was really dynamic. I want to show you one specific example. It's a 5-on-3 against. Ottawa only has 3 guys out. Daniel Alfredson blocks a shot and breaks a stick. They're down to 2.5 men. Charlie Sheen might as well be out there. Alfredson does a good job in the middle of the ice, just kind of taking up space. Dean McCammon's going to come out and make it a 5-on-4. Alfredson's aware enough now that the puck is in the corner. He identifies it's in a bad area. Alfredson's going to go to the bench and get his stick. Now Phillips steps up and keeps the pressure on the puck carrier so that Pittsburgh doesn't have any time or space to really get a play done. Alfredson, you could just see his stick on the side of the screen. He is back into the situation again, and you barely even missed him. That's terrific work and reads. You don't have time to even talk in that kind of situation. Ottawa just pulled it off.
Ottawa very efficient, and Jonesy, that efficiency is portable, isn't it? They take it from the defensive zone to the offensive zone.
Yeah, they've given fits to the Pittsburgh Penguins throughout this entire series with their forechecking. Pittsburgh has had a lack of communication on a lot of plays, and that's because Ottawa is so good on the forecheck, so disciplined. Right here, Marc-Andre Fleury, he has 2 of his defensemen in great position, but a lack of communication here, some confusion. He throws it around the boards. That is the wrong play against the Ottawa Senators. On their forecheck, they cut the boards off. They've got 2 players in good position down low. They get a scoring chance just 25 seconds into this hockey game. We said Marc-Andre Fleury had to be a key guy. He didn't face a lot of shots, but there was some indecision there that almost led to a scoring opportunity for Ottawa.
Youngest guy in the playoffs plays for the Pittsburgh Penguins. He is Jordan Stallin. He's with Bob Harwood.
Bill, thank you very much. Is there a value, Jordan, to some power play time, even though you didn't score? Are you building momentum slowly but surely here?
Well, it'd be nice to get momentum if we scored, but you know, it's obviously a good thing that we're you know, getting power plays. It seems like you know, we're getting opportunities for them to take penalties, and we got to keep moving our feet and hopefully we can bear in the power play.
I took some temperatures in the room this morning, and some guys 5 games in are most nervous because this is the one that might get away from you. Some guys are loose because we've got nothing to lose. Where is this group right now?
I think we're kind of in the middle. You know, we're a little eager, you know, to get this game going, and you know, we're really focused on what we have to do ahead of ourselves, and you know, it seems like we're right in the middle, and I think that's a good thing.
Good luck the rest of the way. Thanks a lot.
All right, thank you.
Okay, Bill.
Bob, thank you very much. If you go by wins and losses, the most dominant team in the playoffs so far, the New York Rangers, who swept the Thrashers out. When we come back, we'll break down this dominant team.
Introducing the all-new Dodge Avenger. The all-new Dodge Avenger. It's a natural performer.
The Red Wings' Darren McCarty was known more for his toughness than his scoring ability. But in the 1997 finals, this cup-clinching goal secured his legacy. You may not find McCarty's name in the Hall of Fame, but you will find it on the Stanley Cup. The NHL playoffs on Versus. Red Wings Flames. Tonight.
There are times you gotta ask yourself, do you think you've got the torque? Or do you know you've got the torque? Get Q Torque Power for trucks. Heat activated to help more of your engine's power reach the road. No leading synthetic motor oil delivers more torque than Q Torque Power. Full synthetic Q Torque Power for trucks. Unleash all your horses.
They've stormed beaches and freed countries. They've raised our flag and our hope. They've been called leathernecks. They've been called devil dogs. But above all, they're called Marines.
I guess we'll take Morty.
Yes. Pick last. Ouch. A vault will put you back on top. Quenches and kicks. Incoming! Yeah! You're a super soda mercenary! Vault! Drinks like a soda, kicks like an energy drink. Get to it!
Got it through to Cullen. Big drive. He scores! No! I thought it was in. It went off the bar.
That's it.
It's a goal. 3, 2, 1. It's a Rangers sweep.
The great call of Sam Rosen as the Rangers advance. You look at the numbers, all Rangers. Goals, lead time, unbelievable. Power play, yep. The blue shirts there as well. Total shots, So Rangers fans are saying to themselves right now, how good are these New York Rangers? Well, they're obviously very good. But why are they good, Brian?
Because their best players are their best players, and they're led by Michael Nylander and Jaromir Jagr. The first line was a dominant force out there, and anytime that happens, especially with Jagr, who can be the best player in the world when he wants to, when he gets the puck and gets open and shoots like that, and he did in the first game, it makes a huge difference. But Michael Nylander, I think, has been the story of that first round because he's actually shooting the puck. He scored 4 goals in that first series, and Jagr assisted on 3 of them. So it's kind of reverse of what we're used to seeing. Nylander was always reluctant to shoot the puck before, but between the 2 of those guys, they have the puck almost the entire time that they're out there. Atlanta never had it. If that continues, the Rangers are going to go a long way.
And they have depth as well. They got a second line now that can do a lot of damage as well. Sean Avery obviously leading the way. Shanahan with his great shot. But what I love about Sean Avery, not only does he produce offensively, he is a pain to play against. Ilya Kovalchuk out there running around. He's there to score goals. Kovalchuk is. To get himself involved with Sean Avery as much as he did tells me that Sean Avery did a great job in this series. Kovalchuk, 19 penalty minutes in the series. He only had 49 all season long. You see here another 5-minute fight here for Ilya Kovalchuk. That's not what Kovalchuk does. He scores goals. Sean Avery, 5 points in the series and took Kovalchuk off his game. So a great job by the second line of the New York Rangers.
What a roller coaster ride it's been for Rangers fans this season. And by the way, for fans that would like to be part of the playoff excitement, you can play along with NHL.com's Quest for the Cup. Prizes include a trip to London for next season's opening games. Just log on NHL.com for all of the info. And be sure to stay tuned because later tonight, we'll give you today's code word, and that is worth 3,000 points. Go ahead and play. You'll have fun. When we come back, some news and notes from the NHL.
We just got a new car. A good time to look at new car insurance, and we went with Progressive, saving like $400 a year. But what really impressed me was they actually gave me the rates the other big companies. Was not expecting that. I mean, that kind of honesty is... Oh, did you have anything to do with this?
No.
Right.
Get our rates plus competitors at Progressive.com. Honest. Progressive. Saving hundreds is just the beginning.
Your shoes untied, Bob. Your shoes untied, Bob. Your shoes untied, Bob. Your shoes untied, Bob.
Sprint rugged phones. Built to military specs. Tested for toughness. Because it's a cruel world out there. Businesses get the rugged Sanyo 7050 or the Motorola IC502 for $59.99. Visit sprint.com/business.
Sprint. Power up. Pain is good. It means you're still in the playoffs. The NHL Stanley Cup playoffs on Versus. Do or die.
Hey, you want to see something cool?
Now you can hang out with an NFL quarterback.
Hey, I'm coming to your house.
Fathead is a larger-than-life limited edition wall graphic that brings all the NFL action right into your home or office.
Fathead is huge. That's how big a Fathead is.
Just peel and place. Fathead is easy to put up and can be moved over and over.
Coolest thing is, put it on the wall. You don't like it there? Peel it off. Put it on another wall.
Too big and real for stores. Fathead.com's where you can also find all your favorite players and teams. Officially licensed by the Collegiate Licensing Company, NASCAR, the NBA, the NFL, and Players Inc.
Fathead is the coolest thing out right now. You get a fat head.
Fathead are for true NFL fans only.
Take those posters off the wall, kick them out, and put a Fathead.
Fathead. Go big. Real big.
Did you call me a fathead? Hello, people in TV land, get a fathead.
The Pittsburgh Penguins had 4 minutes of power play time in the first period. Sidney Crosby, chances there. But we send you to the second period scoreless.
Dodge Ram Heavy Duty's got the cleanest, strongest diesel of any pickup, with up to 650 pound-feet of torque from an available Cummins turbo diesel. It's a beast with over 2.5 tons of payload and over 8 tons of towing. Own one, and you'll know why Dodge Ram is the longest-lasting, most durable line of full-size pickup trucks on the road. Now get up to a $3,000 cash allowance, plus a no extra charge Hemi engine upgrade on one of America's hottest trucks, Dodge Ram Heavy Duty.
Pass it. Come on. Come on. Come on. Mutual. Put it in the zone. Yeah, put it in the zone.
You wouldn't make it in the NHL. But you can get inside with VCast. Watch highlights, interviews, and everything hockey. Exclusively from Verizon Wireless.
When you want to get away,
Let's go, girls!
Enterprise Rent-A-Car will pick you up free. And get you on your way. Pick Enterprise. We'll pick you up.
A craftsman doesn't tidy up. He blasts everything clean. So what's in his shed? The new Craftsman 80th Anniversary Pressure Washer. It's the latest in clean. 80 years of Craftsman know-how meets the power of a Briggs & Stratton engine. Other washers stop at 4 nozzles. This is the only one with the 6-nozzle precision spray selector, and you'll never mess with changing out tips. Switch from max pressure to a high-flow rinse with the flick of a wrist. 2,700 pounds of pressure blasting 2.5 gallons per minute. There's nothing else like it to keep you moving from one dirty job to the next. And the 2-in-1 onboard detergent system takes you from deck wash to degreasing solution without slowing you down. It's a limited edition, so where can you get it? Only at Sears. It's on sale right now. And click on Sears.com/clean for 6 bottles of cleaner free. Craftsman innovation helps get the job done fast, so you can get on to other projects.
Don't feel like gambling on your next home loan? Get it done with Ditech with a low fixed-rate home loan. And don't leave anything to chance. Save that for Vegas. Call Ditech today. 1-800-71-FIXED, a GMAC company.
The NHL Stanley Cup Playoffs on Versus is brought to you by the all-new 2008 Dodge Avenger. The perfect combination of innovation, bold style, and spirited performance. Dodge, official vehicles of the NHL.
Here in Ottawa, the capital of Canada, no question who those fans are rooting for with respect to the Senators. Back in the first period, they had to be rooting for Ray Emery. He was tough.
Back-to-back 5-on-3 situations for the Pittsburgh Penguins. A number of great stops by Ray Emery, whether he was fighting the traffic in front of the net on the shot by Gonchar. 2 opportunities, forehand, backhand by Crosby. Crosby's 5th shot, Joe, of the first period on a follow-up after a block by Bolchenko. But Ray Emery, the first star in that first 20 minutes for Ottawa.
You just know Sidney relishes the opportunity, wants the burden on his shoulders in this elimination game. Hey guys, follow me. And as he was doing his best to pierce Ray Emery in that first 20 minutes. And when we get started in period number 2, it will be Ottawa on the power play with the fresh ice. On average, the Eastern Conference quarterfinals are providing about a goal more per game than the 4 series out west. Nothing on the board to speak of with the NHL on Versus this evening. Joe Beninati, Andy Brickley, Bob Harwood with you at Scotiabank Place. Senators in the red. Corbo on the outside for Heatley. Corbo switching sides for Redden. Corbo one more time. Heatley opens up and drives. Missed it as he tried to beat Fleury glove side. Colby Armstrong has all day to clear. Brooks Orpik is in the penalty box, another 50 seconds. First minute of period 2. On the lead comes Heatley, the 50-goal getter for the Senators. Pricing lets it fly, and that one will drop a defender. Slowly getting back to his feet, it's Eaton. He's got to scramble to get after Heatley while he's hurt. Pricing relays. Corbo will think about it. And now, pump fake one more. Pricing. Alfredson to the front. Score! Danny Heatley!
The original chance by the Ottawa Senators was a shot blocked by the defenseman Eaton. Concentrate on number 3 in white. He's trying to finish off this penalty killing situation with a bad leg. Not healthy, can't move well, and what a good goal scorers do, you get in the area of the player that's laboring a little bit. Daniel Alfredson takes the feed down low from the point, and Danny Heatley finds the open space in the injured defenseman's area. Eaton. And it's a short little pass and a quick release by a 50-goal man will give Ottawa the lead.
6 goals in 11 games for Danny Heatley in his career against Marc-Andre Fleury. This one is a power play strike at 1:08 of the second period. He tallied 50 times on the year, Heatley did. He split it right down the middle, too. 25 in front of the locals here at Scotiabank Place. They love him right now. Ottawa in the driver's seat, 1-0 and threatening again. Great stop by Fleury. Sensational on Chris Kelly. Volchenkov for Phillips. Phillips plays it off the end wall. Neal is there, bothered by Whitney. Ryan Whitney was injured in the first period. None the worse for wear back here for period 2. 1-0 for the Senators, and they are buzzing with a little momentum now. Bad pass from Phillips, snatched away by Crosby. 3-on-3, he weaves into the offensive zone. Recchi joining the rush. Eliminated there by Kelly. Chris Kelly had a golden opportunity right on top of Marc-Andre Fleury, and he was spectacular.
Kelly gloved the puck down. I believe it Phillips that kept it in at the left point. A simple little wrist shot. Kelly gloved it. He thought he had the empty net on the backhand. Out of nowhere came Fleury.
The old goalie's credo, never give up. Fleury sprawling and making perhaps his biggest save of the series. Schaefer knifing back in. Floats one to the front. Fisher was driving there. Melikaw riding hurt on him. Pittsburgh on the road in Game 5 as the fans continue to sing-song Fleury. It's 1-0 Ottawa. Pittsburgh must prevail in this one to keep the series going. More body checks flying. It was the teenager Stahl who was boomed down by Fisher. End to end comes Schaefer. Schaefer to the front. Fisher fires. Oh! Fleury did it again with the glove.
You knew Marc-Andre Fleury was going to have to be good in this game tonight to give his team a chance to extend this series. There's been contact, there's been saves, there's been activity here in the first period. Pricing's going to take this puck down low. This is a look at the goal by Danny Heatley. Fleury beaten on that one. How about this stop? The ability to get that good push right to left. And then the glove hand to take away above the pad. Fisher did what he had to do, Joe. He put the puck in the air over the pad, but there was the glove. Similar to the save he made on Chris Kelly.
My goodness, what a stop by Marc-Andre Fleury, the youngster out of the province of Quebec who idolizes Martin Brodeur and Patrick Roy. Well, that was a save. A couple of them, in fact, in succession that those two greats would have admired. Oof. Genius work by Fleury to keep it 1-0. Armstrong playing the end wall on the reverse for Orpik. Orpik channels it ahead to center. Talbot with not a lot of running room afforded him. The Senators have done such a nice job in 5 games of squeezing the life out of the Penguin breakout. Whitney moves it ahead, straight up the gut comes Talbot. Armstrong will flex it back and Pricing will relay. It is 1-0 Ottawa if you're just tuning in Game 5 on Versus. Danny Heatley on the power play just a few moments ago. Saprikin driving in with a wrister that's shouldered down. And Fleury will hold as we hear more from Bob Harwood.
Guys, Ottawa lost some chance to create momentum in the first on a couple of missed power plays, but obviously now they've got it. They've got to expect that Pittsburgh is going to come out slugging in the offensive zone. But the Senators' blue line core has been so well put together in terms of big guys, Andy, who are mobile and who can think on the fly. I've got to believe that's a huge part of why they deal so well with forecheck.
Exactly right, Bob. And Joe just mentioned how well this Senators team has done in the neutral zone. A lot of it has to do do with the ability of those defensemen to skate. And you have to combine that with solid decision-making. They do that very well. And when you have the ability to make that first pass coming out of your own zone, you're going to be successful.
Malkin teaming up with Crosby as Phillips will take over. And Andy, that's what coaches mean, I would think, a lot when they talk about system and structure, particularly in the neutral zone.
Yeah, add to that gap control. That's another phrase you hear coaches use all the time. You want your defenseman to stand up, force the puck to be dumped in, don't allow carry-ins, but now you're the guy that's going to turn and get back.
Recchi moving in, backhander that was answered simply by Emery. And referee Bill McCreary has a penalty call coming for interference.
It's going to be on Volchenkov, I believe. He was in a one-on-one battle away from the puck with Sidney Crosby, trying to protect that off the far post lane when Recchi was on the backhand. We get a look at it, a rush through the neutral zone. Crosby, nice job to handle that puck with his feet, get it back in the direction of Recchi, continue on your route to the goal. Sidney Crosby talked about it this morning, Joe. We have to play with desperation. We played with desperation in Game 4, but we have to take it to an even higher level. This is our first experience, a lot of us, in an elimination game. Expect us to play that way. Don't deviate from the game plan, but bring that determination.
Most of the Penguins coaching staff on down thought that Game 4 was the Penguins' best of the series. It is 1-0 here in Game 5 for Ottawa. The Senators in the red, a 3-1 series lead and a chance to clinch tonight with the Stanley Cup playoffs on Versus.
You know, Bob mentioned that the Ottawa Senators had a chance to extend their lead and really capture the momentum. But it's Marc-Andre Fleury that prevented it from happening.
Fleury and Emery have both been very, very strong in this one. Vermette working down the alleyway. Mazzaros trails him. And this one will flutter into the spectator seats. The NHL playoffs every night on Versus. The Flames fight to even the series at the Saddle Dome. That's Detroit and Calgary in Game 4. Game 5 is Stars and Canucks. Tomorrow night, 7 Eastern. Do or die for the underdog Islanders. Game 5 with Buffalo. And then the hard-hitting Western Conference quarters. That Sharks-Predators series has been outstanding. San Jose looking more and more like the heavyweight we all thought they would be out west. Milan Michalek with a pair of goals for the Sharks in their win. Nashville has so much trouble in limited experience in the playoffs on the road. Gonchar fires a scorcher that hit the glass. Huge rebound came back to the slot. Pittsburgh persists on the power play. Malkin with a drive. There's a smart-looking Emery save. Gonchar with a fake. Leaves it out for Whitney. 63 seconds on the power play for Pittsburgh. 39-year-old Recchi away from the advances of Alfredson. Alfredson lost his stick in the wash. Whitney maneuvering in. Gonchar all by his lonesome. Slap pass, tried to go backdoor. Schubert had that sniffed out, and Schubert will clear.
The versatile Christoph Schubert slides back to play defense in penalty-killing situations. Wants to play physical, but he wants to really be in control of his game. He made a nice read on that pass attempt.
We all watched Gonchar head back up ice. The dumping got away from Emery. Volchenkov in the penalty box, another 24 seconds. Mike Fisher will drop it off for Schaefer. Schaefer driving in there, looking wide. Wrist shot coming, and Fleury challenged there on Schubert as he will check out for the line change. 14-11, Ottawa has the shots on goal advantage. They lead by 1. Danny Heatley, a power play goal before this period was 2 minutes old.
What a stop by Ray Emery, too, on that chance by gaining Malkin in that high slot. Ripped one on the blocker side. Really his best opportunity to score.
Quick counterattack. Vermette's in solo. Vermette to the goal mouth. He scores! Antoine Vermette. Highlight film stuff.
Third and fourth liners, Joe. We talked about it at the top of the broadcast. It's Kelly that's going to make the feed. Tape to tape in stride. Heads up play by Vermette. We talked about this guy's ability to play offense and score goals. Been a great penalty killer in this series. That subtle little move where you pull that puck further to the backhand to prevent the sweep check, and then as you move it back to your forehand, the legs open up and you snap it right through the legs of Fleury.
And they are loving it in Ottawa, obviously. Do that all while you're getting tripped on the breakaway. Antoine Vermette at 6:20. There's Kelly with a primary setup. And the depth of this Senators offense continues to shine. 11 different goal scorers in the series and a 2-0 advantage in Game 5. Vermette leads Kelly once more. Chris Kelly channeled it around Eaton. There's a penalty call coming. Referee Bill McCreary has spotted an infraction. The Ottawa Senators have the lead. The penalty call is hooking. We'll tell you who it's on right after these words.
Bold, aggressive styling. Incredibly precise handling. Electronic stability program. 5-speed auto stick transmission. Dodge Charger SXT. It has the power to make anyone emotional. Now get up to a $2,500 cash allowance on Dodge Charger. Discover America's hottest products at your Dodge dealer.
I'm gonna go get us some drinks.
Okay.
2, please. This is for you.
Oh no, he didn't. A vault will help you put Casanova in his place. Drop the hammer, Kevin! Kaboom! If the girl wants pearls, then give her some pearls! Vault drinks like a soda, kicks like an energy drink. Get to it!
Hello, hello, how are you? Hello, hello, how have you been? It's good to see you, my friend. So till we meet again.
Nothing brings people together like boating. Get started with your free DVD at discoverboating.com.
Michel Ouellette all boxed in for Pittsburgh. Ottawa has the momentum. 2 tallies about 5 minutes apart. Ouellette gone for this hook.
Once again, a good example of that zero tolerance. Stick parallel to the ice, whether it's in on the hands or the midsection, they're going to call it. Ouellette will go to the box. If you ever needed a penalty kill in an elimination game, it is right now for Pittsburgh, trailing by 2. That momentum pendulum clearly on Ottawa's side.
Very much so. 2 of the top 3 offensive teams in the NHL colliding in this Eastern Conference quarterfinal. Andy, in this series, the team that has scored first has won 3 of the 4 games. Spezza trying to find a seam, and Scuderi would not allow it. Redden and the Senators in the red. Alfredson has 3 tallies to lead the Senators in this series. Redden with a feed that was blocked away. Good work by Maxime Talbot. The second period in this series has been owned throughout by the men in the red sweaters. Corvo for Heatley on the interchange. Corvo straight away through a screen that was head high, knocked down and cleared in one fell swoop by Talbot.
3 good plays by the Pittsburgh penalty killers. First of all, the diving play by Scuderi on the rush by Spezza, the stick work by Talbot, and then that glove block by Malachi.
The 2 goals for Ottawa in just about 5 minutes, but don't forget the handiwork of Marc-Andre Fleury. Should the Penguins rally back, they can turn to their netminder and thank him for acrobatic heroics. Still a minute to kill in the minor to Ouellette.
The 2 saves, the one on Kelly, the follow-up chance by Fisher. This could easily be a 4-0 game.
On the year, Fleury's numbers were much better at the Igloo back at Mellon Arena in Pittsburgh than they were on the road with respect to save percentage and goals against average. He's got 13 stops under his belt thus far. Senators trying to give themselves additional breathing room here on the power play for another 40 seconds. Comrie is angled off by Goncho. Front and center on your screen. Mazzaros did not handle that. Jordan Stahl's first 3 NHL goals in this his rookie year were all shorties, all shorthanded. That hadn't happened in a quarter century in the NHL. Neal down the wing. Eaton is there, having shaken off the stinging effects of a drive that hit him in the second period. Comrie will sweep out of his own zone. Comrie has been very good in this series. Number 89 in red, driving wide. Looking for the late guy. Tried to force it to Volchenko. Armstrong is lurking defensively. As the Penguins are back to even strength, Ouellette's out of the box, just as Eaton hoists it back to center. 5-on-5 play. Saprikin in there like a guided missile on the forecheck. Wins the puck. Long blast answered by Fleury as Chris Kelly tried him from about 63 feet. Or thereabouts.
Well, with that goal by Antoine Vermette, when you take a look at the third and fourth line guys, Joe, really the only players not on the board, Saprikin, who just got into the lineup with the injury to Patrick Eaves. Eaves had an assist before he went down. And Christoph Schubert, and we've lauded him and what he brings to the lineup in terms of penalty killing, fourth line physical play, versatility. So the contributions from forwards 6 through 12 continue to impress and help carry this Ottawa club.
And it's why for the last few years so many people have thought so highly of these Ottawa Senators under the direction of Brian Murray. That depth of talent and scoring, it helped them dispatch Tampa in 5 games. Then the Lightning, the Stanley Cup champions defense a season ago, they only fell in the second round to Buffalo's overtime heroics in 5 as Recchi was put right to his wallet at center.
Yeah, Volchenkov again with a big hit, standing in at the offensive blue line.
A whistle here as the puck hits someone in the Penguin bench. Michel Therrien assuredly will receive plenty of votes for Coach of the Year for his work during the regular campaign. Pittsburgh, 105 points, the second most they've ever had in a regular season.
And that's impressive when you think about the teams that Mario Lemieux was the quarterback of and how impressive they were.
Spezza on a steal. Spezza in, backhanded pass. He may have needed to be a bit more selfish and called his own number there. Crosby driving back to the front, deflection try. Malkin is squeezed off the boards by Emery.
Spezza on the backhand, 2-on-1. Yes, he's one of the most gifted offensive playmakers in the National Hockey League. Good read on the steal. When he was on the forehand, he was trying to sell shot, and the minute he goes to the backhand, now Fleury's reading pass, as is Brooks Orpik. So he slides over into that passing lane. Spezza still tries to force it, and it's a well-defended play.
Oh, if that were me, I'm taking that one. I'm trying to keep the goal-scoring bonanza going here in the second period. It's 2-0 for Ottawa. No scoring back in the first period. Heatley and Vermette on the board in the middle session. Both teams with even strength at 5. Vermette digging with it. Stahl there too. Roberts hovering around the pack. And Redden says, let's switch it up. Mazzaros and Neal will get it back to center. It's Neal, Vermette, and Kelly in red for Ottawa. Stahl, Willett, and Roberts out there for the Pens. Scuderi to the goal mouth. That was turned aside. And the hard-hitting Chris Neal will play it back off of a stick and into the Ottawa players' bench. The Senators have control in the series and in the game tonight on Versus.
Introducing the all-new Dodge Avenger.
Commence heat-seeking missile test.
With a heated cup holder. .5-liter V6. And ESP with all-speed traction control. Oh, did we mention the cup holder also cools? The all-new Dodge Avenger.
Take me out to insurance. Take me to Savings Online. Auto insurance that's hassle-free. When you buy it instantly, let me quote, buy Granddad Insurance. If you don't save, it's a shame. For it's $100, $200, $300 you could save with the insurance name.
Save time and money on your auto insurance at Esurance.
Oh, baby, they love it here. Look at this. They're standing, they're chanting, they're singing.
back in Ottawa with the Senators up 2-0 in the second on the bench with Mike Fisher. This team was asked a lot today about killer instinct. What are you showing right now that's close to that?
Well, we really came out strong this period, started playing physical and getting pucks in. We obviously got a big power play goal. That seemed to really get us going, and Vermette just scored a nice goal there lately. So.
Mike, how long was the skate back to the bench after that highway robbery early on?
It's too long, but he made a good save. And hopefully I got to bury those next time. So.
He's going in feet first next time, Joe.
If we were on a baseball diamond, that would be spikes up. Mike Fisher, the outset of the series, explaining that his group wanted to play with a relaxed intensity, not be trying to do too much and overdo it. And Fisher and the Senators have things in control here in game 2 for the moment, on top by 2, more than halfway through regulation. Heatley lets it go, wide of Fleury. Heatley and Alfredson and Spezza out there now, the talented trio for Brian Murray, high-scoring offensive line. They play the game with so many different facets. A handful for the likes of Talbot and Ruutu and Armstrong to defend. Danny Heatley will wait for Alfredson, the captain, to get out of the zone. The offside is washed with 9:10 to go in period 2. If you're just checking in with us on Versus, Joe Beninati, Andy Brickley upstairs, Bob Harwood ringside, 2-0 Senators, Heatley and Vermette on the board. With some highlight stuff that you will most certainly see 1 o'clock Eastern time. The highlight show on the fly, well worth your viewing pleasure. Crosby upset again by Phillips. Everywhere 87 has gone, 4 in the red has followed.
There's nice tandem work because Volchenkov was right there with his partner, Chris Phillips. Phillips had some strong body contact earlier on the shift on Evgeny Malkin, when Malkin tried to swing behind the offensive goal, and then Crosby in the neutral zone trying to create a little bit of his own offense. He's done this a number of times this year, but not tonight in this instance. Phillips with a good angle. He knew he had help to his left with Volchenkov. That's the tandem work that those two have really executed this entire series.
Chris Phillips healthy as a horse right now. You go back early in his career, I remember he had a bad ankle injury. He's had elbow and shoulder problems during his tenure in the NHL, some 10 seasons worth. Has he ever been a tower of strength in the 5 games of this Eastern Conference quarterfinal? Senators have the lead by 2. Crosby and Malkin trying to change that. Malkin looking for his first goal of the series. Crosby, an aerial for Malkin. He did not swat that out of the air. Back come the Senators in transition. It's Saprikin to the front off the boot of McCammon. Gives it a whack for Schubert. Lost it there to Sidney Crosby. Michel Therrien was asked earlier in the day if he could play Crosby and Malkin any more handy, and he flinched at the question, thinking, you know what, 23 minutes may just be about the max. One of the storylines we've been developing, how well Ottawa's 3rd and 4th line have produced.
Well, coming into tonight's action here in Game 5, the numbers look like Ottawa with 4 goals and 4 assists. Well, you got to add to that because of the Kelly pass to the Vermette breakaway goal. They now have 10 points, 5 goals, 5 assists apiece, compared to just 2 for the Pittsburgh Penguins in that 6-12 range in terms of your forwards.
Back at Hockey Central, Keith Jones was talking about the New York Rangers. 2 productive offensive scoring lines. The Rangers, the first time they've swept the Stanley Cup playoff series since back in '94, their cup run, as they dispose of the Atlanta Thrashers. Jordan Stahl out there with the Gary Roberts and Ryan Malone. Pittsburgh in the traveling whites trying to keep its playoff hopes alive tonight. They trail 3-1 in this series. Mazzaros sends it away for Comrie, and he'll loop it into the corner. Scuderi swiftly around that turnstile, picked up on the move by Roberts, and in succession it's Malone. Drive towed away by Emery, who has been razor sharp himself at the other end. 13 for 13 for Emery. The bodies continue to fly, and as usual, Roberts and Fisher are around the pack.
Well, Roberts came over looking to initiate the hit. Fisher saw him out of the corner of his eye, and he initiated the contact and dropped the veteran winger.
Willett gets stalled there at center by Chris Kelly. Mazzaros venturing off to the corner for it. As the fans chide Gary Roberts. Better than 19,000 in this building. 31 sellouts during the regular season. And they try to get the goat of a guy who has done great damage to them throughout his playoff career. Gary Roberts' postseason numbers against the Senators are nothing to sneeze at. Down the wing comes Talbot. Erased there by Corvo. Just over 6 minutes away from a Verizon Wireless intermission report. We'll be checking in soon with Bill and Brian and Keith back at Hockey Central. Another busy night of NHL activity, but this is the only Eastern Conference game going on. 3 out west for you on this night. Senators with Vermette staked out. One more pass for Alfredsson. That was rejected. Ouellette did not get that one deep. A little bit casual, but then a hand pass against the Senators will bring play to a halt. 2-0 for Ottawa as these two teams continue to beat each other's brains out. For you on Versus.
In the end, all roads lead to Dodge Ram. That's because Dodge Ram is the longest lasting, most durable line of full-size trucks on the road. Now get up to a $5,000 cash allowance, plus a no extra charge Hemi engine upgrade on one of America's hottest trucks, Dodge Ram 1500.
Your shoes untied, Bob. Your shoes untied, Bob. Your shoes untied, Bob. Your shoes untied, Bob.
Sprint rugged phones. Built to military specs. Tested for toughness. Because it's a cruel world out there. Businesses get the rugged Sanyo 7050 or the Motorola IC502 for $59.99. Visit sprint.com/business.
Sprint. Power up.
It is the ultimate test of guts and determination. 16 teams have begun a quest where the human spirit will be pushed beyond endurance.
The playoffs have started.
And only the strongest, the fastest, and the bravest will capture the greatest prize in sports. Follow the quest on Versus and NBC, then log on to NHL.com for complete playoff coverage.
Bill Clement in our Hockey Central studio, where Keith Jones and Brian Engblom will be joining me for the Verizon Wireless Intermission Report. We'll offer our analysis of the Pens' Sens so far, and we'll look at how New Jersey's Scott Gomez helped the Devils avoid a playoff crisis last night in Tampa. First, back to Joe, Andy, and Bob in Ottawa.
Bill, thank you very much. I don't think that Tampa has seen the best of Martin Brodeur just yet in that Devil's cage, while Gomez and Parise continue to hog the headlines for the Devils in that hotly contested series. Here in Ottawa, Danny Heatley has one goal, Vermette the other. Alfredsson trying to get his name on the score sheet, and that was blocked by Melikov. Quick transition play for Crosby, gets away from him. Chris Phillips is knocked down to the deck. The majority of the power plays in this hockey game came back in the first. And remember just how good the Senators were penalty killing in the first 5 minutes of the game, when they foiled a couple of Pittsburgh 5-on-3s.
And 2 real strong plays defensively by the Ottawa Senators when they get possession of the puck under duress in a battle down low along the goal lines. We saw Wade Redden use his partner Mazzaros in front of the net, and right there Chris Phillips again with both Recchi and Malkin right on him, makes a pass up the middle of the ice to a wide open Daniel Alfredsson.
That's Andy Brickley. I'm Joe Beninati. Bob Harwood ringside for you. The announce team here for the Stanley Cup playoffs on Versus. Game 5 of the Eastern Conference quarterfinal. Ottawa in red leading the series 3-1. We're in their barn, Scotiabank Place. Roberts on the stuff, and Emery meets him at the post and brings play to a halt as Stahl gets ushered away from the net. If you're just tuning in with us, allow us to summarize with this Dodge storyline. Danny Heatley getting the Senators on the board first.
Heatley's ability to recognize, Joe, to get to the area of where Mark Eaton was. Eaton had blocked a shot earlier in this power play, was limping badly. Heatley finds the open space. Alfredsson finds him with a perfect pass. And then the penalty killers, the 2 prime penalty killers, Chris Kelly, Antoine Vermette, they're rewarded with some good play in the neutral zone and the breakaway finish by Vermette. He looked like the 19-goal scorer that he was during the regular season on a beautiful finish through the legs of Marc-Andre Fleury.
The Vermette tally at 620. The last one up on the big board. It's 2-0 for Ottawa. Armstrong weaving away from some pressure. Keeps it along the woodwork for Talbot. Fisher chasing him and then ripping him off, but not getting it out. 4 minutes away from that Verizon Wireless intermission report on Versus. Armstrong with a bid that was blocked. Malone turns the corner. He was lassoed. Looked like Fisher got away with a little bit of a hold there.
I'm not sure who was holding who.
Okay. Orpik puts it on the lip of the boards. Armstrong waits. Shoved away from the cage. Armstrong back behind the goal. Pricing and Malone are there jamming in the Pittsburgh offensive territory. Corvo will emerge with it. And clear. Ryan Whitney in a foot race. Schaefer is right there to dog him. Down goes Whitney. Whitney will bounce right back up and lead the breakout for Pittsburgh. Hurriedly on the flank. Roberts for Talbot's one-timer. Didn't have a lot of starch on that. It was easy for Emery. Roberts and Kelly go round and round. Armstrong with a blast that's deflected way into the end zone seats. As we visit with Bob Harwood.
Guys, an element of discipline is obviously going to be what the Senators are going to have to reach into, considering all the heavy slugging we're starting to see. Gary Roberts and company setting the tone physically. That desperation creeps in. I talked to some of the guys in the Ottawa room this morning about just that. If it's a 2 or 3-0 lead, what do you expect? Yes, they're going to try to throw us off our game. Yes, they're going to get under our skin. We can't fight back in a way that takes us off our game plan. You just saw a great example of it in the Mike Fisher hit on Colby Armstrong. He had the two hands and the stick in the air, but the hands were together. No cross check, just a clean, hard hit to fight back.
And that discipline, Bob, has to also be shown in how they defend in their own zone. And it was also a classic example of that with the Fisher line on how to defend with the new rules.
Daniel Alfredson, the captain for the Senators. He was counseling his mates earlier in the day about making good decisions, both with respect to the puck and with respect to retaliating, as Alfredson just missed on the short side. 2.5 to go in the second period. 2-0 for Ottawa. Pittsburgh on the road in the white. They must win to keep this season going for themselves. The postseason game 6, if necessary, at Mellon on Sunday. A day game on NBC.
Some more discipline. Jason Spezza, known for his offensive skills. Good decision in the offensive end to pull out. Little one-on-one coverage with Gary Roberts on the back check.
Stuff attempt here from Neal. Follow-up score! Chris Kelly!
Well, this wraparound into the offensive zone. It looks like this puck's going to get caught up on the net a little bit, and that does not allow Josef Melekar to get to that puck first. In fact, it's Chris Neal that gets there. Third and fourth liners, Joe. Again, difference makers here tonight. Chris Kelly, he's the recipient of a great play and a good hustle play by Chris Neal to get to this puck first. Tough break for the Pittsburgh Penguins, but the hustle in on the wraparound dump. Get there first, rotate to the front of the net, and the patience of Chris Kelly to sneak one short side.
How about Chris Neal hugging his red sweatered brothers there, and then he couldn't wait to get to the bench to exchange all those fifth bumps. It's 3-0 for the Senators in complete command in Game 5 of their Eastern Conference quarterfinal. Kelly has it again. Chips it for Neal. Sharp angle. Rejected by Fleury. 19-15 shots on goal lead for the Senators. They lead by a whole lot more when it comes to goals. 3-0 in this one as Recchi is flattened by Fisher. This Scotiabank Place fan group roaring its lungs out now. Redden on a long send-away. Comrie's behind the D. Comrie walking in. Fires and hit the inside of the post. No goal was the immediate reaction by referee McCreary as Comrie blazes one by Fleury. But here's the iron.
Period number 2. The long change for the Pittsburgh Penguins. Who noticed it? Wade Redden, the best passing defenseman for the Ottawa Senators, and that's saying something because they all move the puck so well. The overhead look, and exactly what happened on that drive by Mike Comrie. Comrie recognizes the line change. He's the stretch forward all the way up by the offensive blue line. Redden recognizes it. His quick up, and Comrie walks in inside the top to the circle. His bullet beats Fleury, but it catches all post.
And Andy, this is a discussion I'm hoping that we can get into throughout the night about the playmaking of a backliner like Wade Redden, with the way he is able to see the ice surface. It's something that we can talk about in the third period, as we have less than a minute to go in this second. 3-0 for the Senators. Schaefer working away, dumping it softly into the corner. Orpik bracing himself for the hit. Fisher has been machine-like in the last 10 minutes of this second period. He's hitting everything that moves. Along the boards, Marco Ruutu dribbling this one into the Ottawa zone with 30 seconds to go. A terrific second period for the Senators, which has been their custom in this series. Gonchar will turn. The chant is go, Sens, go. Heatley on for Spezza. 14 seconds with which to work. Time and space there for Colby Armstrong. Phillips will backpedal. 3 seconds remaining, and a well-deserved standing ovation from the fans at Scotiabank Place. Waving those red pom-poms, all pumped up, here to see if their team can vault its way into round 2 behind Ray Emery. Chris Kelly, Antoine Vermette, and Danny Heatley all on the board in the second period, and the Senators are in cruise control. These are the Stanley Cup playoffs on Versus. After the break, we'll begin the Verizon Wireless Intermission Report. Bill Clement, Brian Engblom, Keith Jones are standing by. The Senators explode in period 2 on Versus.
You know Honda makes portable generators? Well, they do, and they're perfect for camping, working anywhere you need, for all kinds of RV comforts like air conditioning, or for emergency backup. Lightweight and quiet, Honda's got a generator that's right for you. See the CU 2000? 2 of them provided enough power to film this entire commercial. Honda, the power of choice. Call us for the dealer nearest you or shop online now at honda.com.
When you want to get away,
Let's go, girls!
Enterprise Rent-A-Car will pick you up free and get you on your way. Pick Enterprise. We'll pick you up.
I signed up for car insurance on Progressive.com. I saved money, which was great, but they also have these local response vehicles. And if you're in an accident or need an estimate or whatever, a Progressive guy will come to you. And they're all over. I am a musician who's on the road a lot, so it's pretty cool that they'll come to me if my van, you know, gets pummeled by adoring fans. Or if I hit a pole.
Progressive. Saving hundreds is just the beginning.
It came out of nowhere.
Hi, Can-Am. Can you? Pro racer Mike Penland is part of the Can-Am racing team.
Lots and lots of horsepower. There's no hesitation. I can leave them in the dust. Can you?
The quest for the perfect lawn. It's as American as baseball, and for some, just as competitive. That's why you need the best equipment, like the new Craftsman zero-turn tractor. Zero turn means it turns on a dime, so you can maneuver around obstacles like nobody's business and finish the job in almost half the time. This is the kind of innovation you expect from Craftsman. Easy dual-handle steering. Electronic deck you control with the flip of a switch, just like the pros, without the overgrown price. All powered by a 24-horsepower Briggs & Stratton engine, the #1 brand in engines. Where can you get the Craftsman Zero Turn? Only one place, Sears. Right now, you can save $700 with no interest, no payments for 12 months. Go to Sears.com/zero-turn and learn how you can get a complete at-home tune-up free. The quest for the perfect lawn. It's not all about winning, just the love of the game. Craftsman.
This is the Verizon Wireless NHL on Versus Intermission Report, brought to you by Verizon Wireless, official wireless service provider of the NHL.
Here comes Kasparov. He scored! Darius Kasparov! The Pittsburgh Penguins 3-2 over the Sabres. They go against the Devils in the conference final.
And This is our Verizon Wireless Intermission Report. That was the last time the Penguins won a playoff series back in 2001. Right now, down 3-0 in this game. They're on a steep slope. And Jonesy, before the game, you said Marc-Andre Fleury has to be flawless. Well, he's let 3 by him, but he hasn't had much help either.
Yeah, it's not entirely Marc-Andre Fleury's fault. In fact, it's not his fault at all. The Pittsburgh Penguins have done a terrible job in clearing the spaces away in front of him. He's had to make 2 great saves when the game was still 1-0. There's one of them using his quickness in front of the net. Very athletic goaltender, and you'll see it right here as he slides across and robs Mike Fisher. What a save by Marc-Andre Fleury. Unfortunately, the Ottawa Senators just kept coming. Prime scoring opportunities. Marc Vermette picked up the goal there, or Antoine Vermette picked up the goal there, and Ottawa just kept coming in floods.
And Brian, it doesn't matter what series we're covering. You keep talking about the middle of the order guys and how important they are. You're dead on again, brother.
Thanks. Guys like Kelly and Vermette, you know, for the Ottawa Senators, and that's why Fleury doesn't get any let up. It comes in wave after wave from the Ottawa Senators, and that's why he's just under the gun all the time. Antoine Vermette scores a goal here that is really a goal scorer's goal. Look at him protect the puck and make a move, and yeah, he crashes in, but that is real skill. And then this is a great angle of the Kelly goal. Going upstairs, the patience. These are 3rd and 4th line guys, and early on in the season, I'd say about December, Jason Spezza, the #1 center, went down. Chris Kelly got 16 points in 15 games in replacing Spezza. That's when Ottawa really came together as a team, and they're a machine right now, too.
Well, the Ottawa Senators are doing a great job of cutting down Sidney Crosby. He's got nothing going on, and half of the defense pair that's playing against him is with Bob Harrold right now, and that's Chris Phillips.
Thanks very much, Bill. Chris, earlier on I talked to Mike Fisher about killer instinct, and that was generating. Now you're a little bit more in a it's coming to us kind of mode. Do you guys have to go to a different mindset right now?
Well, I don't think so. I think we got to keep doing what's working for us. You know, we're an aggressive team with a lot of speed. And you can't just sit back against a team like this. They have too much firepower. We have to, you know, keep doing the little things, getting the puck deep, and force them to you know, come the length of the ice to get a scoring chance.
I don't know if you're going to expect it to get silly if the lead stays and the gap stays this big, but if it starts to get physically ugly out there, what's your best way of handling this as a group?
Well, we'll just, you know, take each shift at a time. We'll see what happens. That's really not even a focus for us right now. It's about going out and winning the game, and you know, we'll just, like I said, see what happens.
Chris, thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Okay, Bill.
Okay, Bob, thank you very much. The Sens in good position moving to the 3rd period. When we come back, we'll show you why and who is responsible for the Devils being in a good spot right now.
1985, Gretzky makes the great one seem like an understatement. 1994, Messier backs up his mouth with his stick. 2001, Stanley Cup engraver finally has to learn how to spell Borg. 2006, Doug Weight separates shoulder, lifts cup with his heart. 2007, the NHL playoffs on Versus. Islanders, Sabres, Sharks, Predators, tomorrow night.
That hurt? Nah. You're all right. We'll put a little ice on it. It's no big deal.
You wouldn't make it in the NHL. But you can get inside with VCast. Watch highlights, interviews, and everything hockey. Exclusively from Verizon Wireless.
Who's counting on your brakes today? Come to Midas and get brake pads or shoes for just $89.95 per axle installed. Be safe.
Just the Midas touch.
We know what men like. New Mitchum Smart Solid. Powerful protection, unbeatable against white residue. Wow, let's see that again. For powerful all-day protection that doesn't come off on your shirt, be a smart Mitchum man.
Blockbuster Total Access presents a brief history of online movie rental. Once there was only Netflix. You ordered online, received and returned by mail, and waited for new movies. Now there's Blockbuster Total Access. You can order online, return by mail, even exchange for new ones at the store, no extra charge.
And no waiting for new movies.
No wonder thousands join Blockbuster Total Access every week.
We did. And everything else is history.
Movies through the mail plus movies through the store, one low price. That's Blockbuster Total Access. Get a free trial at your Blockbuster store or Blockbuster.com.
Get started in boating with your free DVD at discoverboating.com.
Backhander save, Brodeur. Rebound is back to Sargent and shot. Gomez blocks it. He moves up the left side. He's got Gianna with him. Gomez across the shot. He scores! Gomez scores! Game over. Series even. Oh my, what a hockey game!
Doc Emrick and Chico Resch last night as the Devils even their series with the Tampa Bay Lightning. Okay, Bri, we're giving all the props about the middle of the order guys, but the dominant scorers have to get it done as well. And in the Devils' case, we're talking about a sophomore that's doing it.
Yeah, Zach Parise, it must be in the genes, because his dad, JP, was a heck of a player, too, that you and I played against. But Zach Parise, if you ask people that followed the Devils all season long, was their best, most consistent forward, because he's got a Pandora's box full of talent. It doesn't matter what the situation is, he finds a way to score a goal. He's come through with 6 goals in the playoffs, which leads everybody in the playoffs. During the regular season, he had 31 goals for the Devils. So doesn't matter who he's playing with or what the situation is, Parise always comes through for them.
And for the Tampa Bay Lightning, it's been Vinny Lecavalier. Every shift that he's on the ice has been dominating. He's been physical. He's been hard on the puck. He's been tough to get off of the puck, and he's been very productive. 5 goals in the series. We know he's got a great shot. We know he's quick to get to the open spaces. Brodeur would like to have that one back, but Vinny Lecavalier, he'll get open. Crossbow and St. Louis have done a great job of finding him, and Lecavalier has done it all for the Tampa Bay Lightning, the most dominant player in the National Hockey League all season long.
Danny Heatley for the Ottawa Senators was also a goal-scoring star in the regular season. And how about Heatley? 5 career playoff goals, all on the power play. He's the man to call on the power. Back after this.
Inks Beef Jerky presents Messin' with Sasquatch.
Hey, you want to ride? It's okay. Sorry. We're sorry. Sorry, buddy. Sorry, buddy.
Jack Link's Jerky. Feed your wild side.
Go RVing, and you'll experience the kids in a whole different way. Every one of them. What will you discover? Go RVing. Visit GoRVing.com for a free video and see an RV dealer.
Prescriptions are one thing. Maxiderm is completely different.
If you're like thousands of men across the country searching for an effective, non-prescription male performance product, then you've probably already heard of Maxiderm, the best-selling topical male enhancement formula that instantly affects firmness, male virility, and performance. Call the number on your screen and try Maxiderm risk-free today. We know that once you try Maxiderm, you'll never want to go without it again. Get that Maxiderm performance edge today and have the confidence that you'll be at your best and her best every time.
He doesn't need a prescription. He uses Maxiderm.
Call the number on your screen now for your free trial of Maxiderm while supplies last. Just cover the cost of shipping. See and feel results instantly. Maxiderm is instant male enhancement.
Busy night here on Versus. As soon as we finish Pitt, Ottawa, we're going to Detroit, Calgary. Their game 4. Detroit leads at 2-1. And then we'll join Dallas, Vancouver. Their game 5 with Vancouver. A chance to move on. Third period in Ottawa. All Sens coming up.
This has been the Verizon Wireless NHL on Versus Intermission Report. Brought to you by Verizon Wireless, official wireless service provider of the NHL.
Deep
Deep in the heart of the Arbuckle Mountains of Oklahoma lives one of the roughest Ford Super Duties ever conceived. Oh, watch this.
He's built Ford tough.
And now you have the chance to own him. Ford Trucks and the PBR are once again providing fans with the opportunity of a lifetime. It's the 2007 Built Ford Tough Battle for the Bull Sweepstakes. 5 finalists will win a trip to the PBR World Finals in Vegas. One grand prize winner will become stock contractor of the Bull Super Duty for the 2008 season. To register, log on to battleforthebull.com. And don't forget to play the Battle for the Bull trivia game to increase your chances of winning. The PBR, Saturday and Sunday nights. The competition is on Versus.
Hey, what in the world are you doing?
I'm playing Battle for the Bull.
Well, what in the world are you doing that for?
I want Super Duty all to myself.
Something to remind me of another place and time.
Hey, think I got here by sitting on my butt all day playing video games? Come on, get out there on a Honda. Who knows? Maybe one day some kid will be playing you.
The Honda CRF F-Series. Unplug your kids. As low as $39 a month upon approved credit, and up to $200 in bonus bucks on select models.
The NHL Stanley Cup Playoffs on Versus is brought to you by refreshingly smooth Bud Light, always worth it.
Back in the regular season, the Senators specialized in knockouts. They won 24 times, a league most by 3 goals or more. Our soloist in this Bud Light mic'd up segment is Chris Kelly, putting his communication skills to good use.
You guys talking? Make sure you guys are talking there. A couple of times you guys got caught going to the same guy. Over. You hear me yell, go D to D? First time. Yeah, good job.
Chris Kelly all fired up with that, as the Senators have taken the life away from the Pittsburgh Penguins, and Andy Brickley, especially with respect to shots on goal. Pittsburgh, with power play chances early, came out with a flourish, but not much since.
Yeah, 7 shots on goal because of those 5-on-3s, extended periods of time, in period number 1 early. But it's taken them 35 minutes, Joe, to get another 8 shots on goal. You know, they've had 8 periods now where they've scored a total of 3 goals, 1 goal in the last 5 periods. The question is, can they score 3 times here in the third to give themselves a chance to continue the series?
When you look back over the first 4 games of this series, Pittsburgh has done the majority of its damage in the final stanza. Recchi followed up Eaton's drive. Emery makes the sprawling save, and he may have got some help too, as that one bounded around the goal frame. Malkin looking for Crosby, muzzled again by Phillips. Sidney Crosby peeking back for Gonchar. Eaton waiting for the screen to develop. That was blocked by Alfredson. Towards the front, answered by Volchenkov. And did referee McCreary just call him for holding and putting his hand around the puck?
Yes, he did. Volchenkov's going to block this shot with his glove, and he's going to grab it. We'll take a look at the opportunity first. The rush up ice. Recchi fans on the shot, but it ends up back on the stick of Mark Eaton. His drive, you can see the reaction by Ray Emery, moving forward, doing anything he can to keep that 0 on the board. The worst thing the Ottawa Senators can do is give up an early goal The first minute of third period would give nothing but life to the Pittsburgh Penguins, who will throw everything they have at Ottawa in this third period. And then the penalty call to Volchenkov for grabbing the puck.
Productivity for the Penguins in the third period spelled out for you. Anton Volchenkov, 2 minutes for closing his hand on the puck. McCreary, a tight leash there. As soon as it was in the glove, he had the whistle. Crosby maneuvering in. Wrister that was blocked. Chris Kelly on the board back in the second period. Races his way through center and then casually plays it in to get some fresh troops out there on the penalty kill. You watch Gonchar rev it up back through center. Sergei Gonchar, high-scoring defender. #1 power play point producer from the blue line during the regular season.
Very few carry-ins here in the last 3 games for the Pittsburgh Penguins on their man advantage.
A pass for Crosby that does not connect. Emery slows it. It's slugged around the dasher, but not out by Phillips. Ryan Whitney towards the front. Phillips gets a second opportunity and makes no mistake.
And the stick work by Daniel Alfredson, the recognition. All they have to do is poke this puck back in the direction of Chris Phillips, and we'll get an easy clear.
Absolutely full marks for Ottawa's penalty killers tonight, as Fisher drives one right to the webbing of Fleury. Don't blame Marc-Andre Fleury for this 3-0 deficit. His handiwork, particularly in the second period, prevented it from being a real rout. Gonchar through the screen. That's knocked down and skated to safety by Fisher, opening up a 2-on-1 potential. Fisher to the front softly, and Fleury will steer that away. Approaching the third minute of period 3. Recchi, a saucer pass at the line for Crosby, but the Penguins were in offside as we visit with Bob Harwood. More on the Penguin offense.
Well, fellas, their first window of opportunity has 21 seconds left to go. The urgency is there. Mike Yeo, the assistant coach, says we've come back against these guys before. Late in April, at least early in April, a low-scoring comeback victory here in Ottawa. Probably more importantly, in early March, they were down 4-1 to these very Senators. Andy, I know what you're saying. A little bit of a different set of circumstances, but at least there's some history to draw on. He said these young guys, if we get success early, will turn things around for themselves in terms of confidence.
Well, when you're down 3-0 going into what appears to be a possible final period of your season, yeah, you look to anything to get a positive spin on it.
Armstrong, as the power play expires, Volchenkov's out of the box. It was March 6th in this building. Ottawa had a 4-1 lead. Pittsburgh won that one in a shootout 5-4 thanks to Sidney Crosby. Kelly turns the cage, finding Vermette. That bid was blocked. And Recchi will send it back out. Mark Recchi just 2 goals in his last 27 games as we have a penalty call coming up.
Yeah, it's going to be on Ottawa. Appears to have too many men on the ice. At least that's what I thought. Caught in a line change. Recchi makes a steal in the defensive zone for the Penguins, and he lays the puck out into the neutral zone. And that's right where the Ottawa Senators were trying to make a change on the back end. 6 players on the ice. See if we can get a look at a pretty good idea. You can see 3 Ottawa Senators on the left side of your screen there. The puck will go into the neutral zone. I think you're going to see 3 more. Yes, you do. There's your 6 Ottawa Senators on the ice at the same time and playing the puck, mind you. So clearly too many men on the ice. Not the discipline you want here in period number 3, regardless of a 3-0 lead.
And that was not going to escape the eyesight of referee Eric Furlat. Eric Furlat working with Bill McCreary, Thor Nelson, and Greg Dvorsky are on the line for this Game 5 of the Eastern Conference quarterfinals. The Stanley Cup playoffs continuing on versus Joe Beninati, Andy Brickley, Bob Harwood with you at Scotiabank Place. 3 cheers for all the men and women in our production crew north of the border. As Colby Armstrong stares out and hopes that his team can punch through Ray Emery, who has been all buttoned up in this hockey game. Ryan Whitney leaves it back behind the goal. Roberts drawing the attention of Volchenkov. Phillips stalling things. Malkin rakes it on back to fellow Russian Sergei Gonchar. Whitney playing catch with Gonchar. One time coming from Crosby. It sizzled way off the target, and it will chase Gonchar back to center. A pivot move from Crosby. Back for Whitney. Gonchar one time answered again as Volchenkov was stationed in the slot.
You saw that look by Colby Armstrong to stare out into the ice. You'll see a lot of that here in the third period. The other thing you'll see is a lot of looks up at the clock.
which has 16 minutes to go in regulation. Gonchar from deep, bombs it wide. Malkin did not get it through the pack. Schubert was skated away. Vermette turning back 2-on-2 for the Senators in the red. Vermette to the front, deflection. Schubert off the outside of the cage. Crosby, the 19-year-old, first time through the Stanley Cup playoffs. And what you could imagine would be the first of many for number 87 in Steeltown. A learning experience for all of the Penguins. The youngest team in the NHL, trailing in this series 3-1, and down decisively in Game 5 on a feed ahead that's snared by Redding.
Well, you heard the interview with Chris Phillips between periods with Bob Harwood. Chris Phillips talked about, hey, we're an aggressive team. We play with speed. That's the way we're going to play here in the third period. Classic example was the shorthanded bid with Schubert going to the net.
And Andy, this building, Scotiabank Place, just humming. Another sellout crowd. This building opened 11 years ago as the Palladium. There's a buzz in here as the Senators fans are hoping to see their team move on to round 2 in the Eastern Conference. Even strength 5-on-5. Ouellet playing it ahead. Eric Christensen had no running room. If you're just tuning in with us, all the tallies in this hockey game in the middle period, and they all belong to the Sens.
It started on the power play. Alfredson finds Danny Heatley. Mark Eaton hurt on the play, did not have the mobility to defend that 2-on-1. The third and fourth liners, they show up on goals 2 and 3. Vermette on the breakaway on the feed from Kelly. Chris Neal gets in. He's able to get to the puck first, finds Chris Kelly out in front, sets him up beautifully. The patience to sneak one short side. That's where we stand, 3-0 Ottawa. Contributions across the board, but again, particularly from your 6 through 12 forwards.
Looking back through the Senators' playoff history, the last 3 instances they've had a chance to close out a series when leading 3-1. They did it in 5.
You got a delayed penalty in the Pittsburgh Penguins.
That will not help the black and gold cause. Below the goal line, it's Saprikin. 6 skaters on in red for Ottawa. Ray Emery on the bench. They set up pricing. That was blocked to the front, and the diving Fleury had to get over as referee McCreary spots interference. And that may be the second penalty on the shift.
That's exactly what it's going to be. Unless there's a third penalty, they're definitely going to give a penalty on the initial hit on the breakout by the Ottawa Senators, and then the Senators with their goaltender pulled, the extra attacker on the ice. It looked like Schubert was trying to work the front of the net, get right in front of Marc-Andre Fleury, and I think he's going to be guilty of interference.
That was the reason for the whistle from McCreary, and it will nullify Ottawa's power play attempt.
Well, there's Schubert trying to work the front of the net. He's trying to get out of the way of the shot. And in the eyes of Billy McCreary, that's goaltender interference. There was an original hit attempt up ice by Ruutu. That's why he'll go to the box. But then the battle in front of the net, Schubert trying to create some traffic in front of the goaltender, and you can see Brian Murray not happy with the call nor the explanation.
That was delicate. And that's as nicely as I'm going to put it. That was delicate. It erases a potential Ottawa power play, and as a result, we'll go 4-on-4 with 14:08 to go in regulation. Busy night around the NHL in the playoffs, Andy, and a great night for hockey fans.
Well, we talked about the importance of discipline, and Ottawa's shown a lot of it in this series, but the first 2 penalties they took here in the third period, one's gloving the puck, closing your hand on the puck, that's not discipline. The other was too many men on the ice.
Heatley with that long wind-up. That blast was blocked by Ryan Whitney. Stay with us throughout the night. The Stanley Cup playoffs on versus Detroit, Calgary, Dallas, and Vancouver. Before the night is through, all of those games will appear before your eyes on the fly at 1 a.m. Eastern time. With 13:30 to go in regulation, and this one in the third. It's 3-0 for Ottawa. Gonchar skipping back through center. Carrying it wide, looking for Malkin off of his boot. And the Senators deliberately will play it on back as they continue to bottle up Pittsburgh. Marquee players in this Eastern Conference quarterfinal. We've heard from all of them, but for the moment, it's Ottawa in the driver's seat on Versus.
What are you doing?
Should we pick him up? He has Bud Light.
He has an axe.
But he has Bud Light.
And an axe.
I'm sure there's a reason for it. Hey, buddy. What's with the axe?
It's a bottle opener.
Hop in.
Refreshingly smooth Bud Light. Always worth it.
Look, here's Bud Light.
And a chainsaw.
When you want to get away,
Let's go, girls.
Enterprise Rent-A-Car will pick you up free. And get you on your way. Pick Enterprise. We'll pick you up.
Do you really need that 100,000 BTU grill? Or that 7.1 channel home theater system? Do you really need a motor oil that protects for 15,000 miles?
You bet.
Mobil 1 Extended Performance. Its proven anti-wear technology is guaranteed to protect your engine for 15,000 miles. 5 times longer than traditional oil change intervals. Mobil 1 Extended Performance.
Introducing an automotive breakthrough. Z-Net, only at AutoZone. Now AutoZoners have the power to find you the right part faster with diagrams, photos, and instructions. So you'll get the job done right the first time, every time. Z-Net, only at AutoZone.
Marc-Andre Fleury has been feeling the pressure from the Ottawa Senators tonight and doing his best.
Right off the face-off, a face-off win by the Ottawa Senators. A puck on edge. Good look at it here. A low, hard drive, almost a 90-mile-an-hour knuckleball, Joe. On left pad extended by Fleury.
Despite his efforts, he's faced Ottawa 11 times in his career, including this playoff stint. He's held them under 3 goals just twice. Ottawa has 3 on the board this evening thanks to Peatley and Vermette and Kelly. What a fine series it has been for the likes of Chris Kelly, who has 3 tallies in the 5 games.
You know, just food for thought. You're down by 3 goals over the Pittsburgh Penguins. You've had the 3rd best offense in the league throughout the regular season, so maybe you don't want to change things, but desperate times call for desperate measures. Maybe you go with 3 forwards.
Alfredsson hiding behind the D. Alfredsson walks in, and Fleury's again able to stonewall him.
Daniel Alfredsson just so smart, understands where the open ice area is, reads the play well. That doesn't happen by accident. He had a pretty good idea. That's where that puck was going to end up, and he ends up with a partial breakaway, if not a clear breakaway. Move to the back end, another big stop by Fleury.
As Alfredsson tried to open him up there and go back between the wickets, 5-hole, it was Fleury once more keeping his team at somewhat arm's length. As the Penguins work in, they are offside.
Just to finish that thought, you got a 4-on-4 for 2 minutes, 3rd period, down by 3. Maybe you throw a forward back there in order to try and create a little bit more offense as we got to look at that nice right pad stop. The athleticism of Marc-Andre Fleury, but the intelligence by Daniel Alfredsson to get to this puck in center ice. Tries to slide it back, I believe, underneath through the legs. But Fleury able to deny the Ottawa captain.
The Ottawa captain back in 95-96. The NHL's Rookie of the Year. Many people believe Evgeny Malkin of Pittsburgh will be the Rookie of the Year this season. Yet the Penguins have not received a goal from number 71 in this series. With 11:50 to go in Game 5. Schaefer trying to make a pass to himself off of the net. Scuderi on the intercept. Schaefer once more pinned to the boards. Fisher will pivot. Stahl right there tracking him. Schaefer playing hide and seek with Scuderi. Comrie comes to lend some support. Schaefer, nice catch of that pass on a short hop around Ruutu. As the Senators display some cycle. Melikar right there to defuse it. Ruutu on the lead for Recchi. Legs churning on the wing. That shot patented off the front foot, deflected out of play. Bob Harwood more on Ottawa. Defender, winger, Christoph Schubert.
Jack of all trades, I guess you could say, Joe. And right, he's tapping into that mindset of being able to do a lot of things for a team. Remember back to last game where he killed penalties as a defenseman. He's a defenseman at heart. So versatile, playing some 3rd and 4th line checking and some offensive roles in terms of a forward for Ottawa. He actually this morning, fellas, said he's adamant about the importance of letting players learn both positions at the NHL level, in practice, in exhibition games. Get a real taste of how the other half lives, and it pays dividends.
Well, you're right, Bob. This is a young man who works out in the offseason with that German national program, the likes of Dennis Seidenberg and Marcel Gottsch, Christian Ehrhoff and Marco Sturm. Just a few of the German nationals that you see dotting respective rosters around the NHL. Schubert went on in conversation throughout the day to say, you know what, I'm not a dirty player. I'm out there to be physical, to be in your face, and be a turnover machine. He keeps hitting people like that. He definitely coughs the puck back up.
And that versatility and that willingness to play both positions and understand his role, it's just further evidence of this Ottawa Senators team this year. They have a much better grasp on the team concept, and it's really allowed them to put themselves in the position that they're in right now. The strong second half they had during the regular season, and really on the verge of moving on to round 2.
Oh, Andy, that's not a good sign for the Senators. Anton Volchenkov came over back towards the bench, doubled over at the waist, and appeared to be ailing in the upper body. And Volchenkov has been the cohort in crime of Chris Phillips in outstanding fashion. Vermette rifling back towards the cage, missed everything with a backhander, and George Laraque, who's played sparingly, would clear it only as far as the Ottawa line. Petrovicki and Ekman out of the lineup. Laraque and Christensen back in this evening for Michel Therrien, whose team has got to dig deep now. They are trailing by 3 on enemy ice in Game 5, a potential elimination game for the Penguins. Brister coming from Mazzaros off the skirt of the goal. Neal is there, leaving it back behind the cage. My goodness, it's a Mazzaros yard sale. No helmet, no glove, no stick. What's that all about?
I don't know, but if I don't have any of those, I'm going for a line change.
And he did. Talbot threw it right to the belly of Bryson. Back come the Senators. Fisher fires. That was deadened by Ryan Whitney. End to end. Pittsburgh wanting to go, and McCammon, though, with a hustle on the back check. Del Corvo will swing. A long lead misses its intended target. Melikar races for the touch-up. It's icing against Ottawa. More than halfway through the third. Anton Volchenkov, who's been a hammer, gets nailed there.
It's time to find the sensations.
Your shoes are tied off. Your shoes are tied off. Your shoes are tied off. Your shoes are...
Sprint rugged phones. Built to military specs. Tested for toughness. Because it's a cruel world out there. Businesses get the rugged Sanyo 7050 or the Motorola IC502 for $59.99. Visit sprint.com/business.
Sprint. Power up.
When the moment's right, you'll want to be confident that you'll be ready. Anytime, anywhere. Maxiderm's amazing male enhancement formula works instantly and feels great. If you've ever wondered if male enhancement products really work, now's the time to try Maxiderm.
He doesn't need a prescription. He uses Maxiderm.
Call the number on your screen right now to try Maxiderm absolutely risk-free. Plus, for a limited time, receive a free pack of Vasamine for sustained performance. Maxiderm is instant male enhancement. She knows you've still got it after all these years. That performance edge. Your secret? Maxiderm. And even though Maxiderm's recommended by a leading physician, you don't need a prescription to get it.
Prescriptions are one thing. Maxiderm is completely different.
Call the number on your screen right now to try Maxiderm absolutely risk-free. Plus, for a limited time, receive a free pack of Vasamine for sustained performance. Call in the next 15 minutes and get upgraded rush delivery absolutely free. Maxiderm is instant male enhancement.
Senators have a 3-0 lead in the third period. Andy, this series has featured a lot of hard hits in open ice and along the boards.
Well, we just got through talking about Christoph Schubert and what he means to the Ottawa Senators. Remember that hit on Rod Scuderi? Looks awfully familiar when you take a look at this hit by Gary Roberts on Anton Volchenkov.
Gary Roberts packs quite a wallop at 6'2" and better than 200 pounds. The timing with which he powers into those hits creates quite a stir. And Anton Volchenkov has left the Senators bench. He is back in the dressing room receiving treatment.
And look who's paired with Chris Phillips on the back end.
Schubert. Pretty much the same build, about 230 pounds worth of defender. But Volchenkov has been brilliant for Brian Murray. Was the hero of Game 4, scored the game-winning goal in the third, and now in his absence, Schubert takes the role.
The versatility, the responsibility, the maturity, all very important when you develop young players. When you talk about the Ottawa Senators, everybody knows the Pittsburgh Penguins have had all the marquee draft picks. The 5 picks, all from number 2 or higher overall in the draft. That'll help. But the Ottawa Senators have drafted very well and developed. Well, we've talked a lot about the 3rd and 4th liners. The majority of them drafted by these Ottawa Senators and developed in order to be important role players.
Ray Emery in the nets, a former American Hockey League All-Star, really the first netminder that's been developed through the system for the Senators. And could be the goalie of record in this series clincher, as this is offside against Ottawa.
Yeah, we've talked about the depth at every position for the Ottawa Senators, but let's not lose sight of Ray Emery. He's been very good tonight, outstanding in period 1, outstanding in the first 5 minutes of this hockey game to keep it scoreless when the Pittsburgh Penguins had those 2 5-on-3s. Ray Emery has held his ground. He's been strong. He's had poise. He's been relaxed. He just looks confident in that Ottawa goal.
Flamboyant. He is prone to the occasional hair dye. He has a very, very interesting selection of wardrobe, and all he does is show up each and every night in an optic orange Lamborghini. Does the Senator netminder. Not afraid of calling attention to himself, apparently. And at the moment, backstopping a 3-0 lead. Jordan Staal on the send-in. Staal, an 18-year-old with 3 playoff goals this spring. Last guy to do that in the NHL, back with the Philadelphia Flyers, named Dinas Subras. Now working for the Buffalo Sabres. The Sabres in control in their Eastern Conference quarterfinal against New York and the Islanders. Chris Drury doing it again.
No, the Pittsburgh Penguins have any shot here, Joe. Slight advantage right now. The Ottawa Senators guilty of an ice. They were in their own zone, a little bit under pressure. Maybe have some tired bodies on the ice right now. Pittsburgh needs an offensive face-off win, and they got to get something in the direction of the goal.
And at the outset of the telecast, we said fair or not. The burden in large part falls on the shoulders of number 87, and Sidney Crosby is out there working in tandem with Gary Roberts. Crosby, arguably the best player in the NHL this season, without a doubt its scoring leader, has to manufacture something now with just over 7 minutes to go. You could make a case that Ottawa could have won all 5 games in this series. Pittsburgh's lone win to this point came back in game 2. It was here. And the Penguins used a 3-goal third period to rally behind Crosby to win that one. Snaking his way through defenders and just bumped at the last instant. And the roadblock was named Chris Phillips. Shouldered there by Malkin. Senators in the red, leading the series 3-1, 6 minutes and 40 seconds away from advancing to the Eastern Conference semis.
That rush up ice by Sidney Crosby, as we see a funny bounce off the glass, came out on the blind side of Marc-Andre Fleury. You can get separation from 3 Senators, possibly 4, but not all 5. They all converged on the puck-carrying Sidney Crosby.
Good luck to you if you try that. Heatley on a counterattack. Danny Heatley, who started the scoring spree, throws it to the front, scramble around the paint, and Fleury just got over there without the goalie stick as Heatley got 2 whacks. Maxime Talbot sliding his way through center. Ran into a wall named Vermette. Vermette loads and drives, rams it off the glass. We drift below 6 minutes to go in regulation time. George Laraque patiently flings it to center, and Malone gets a break. Ryan Malone leaning in. Well done by Pricing. During the season, the Senators had 3 of the top 5 plus-minus defenders in the NHL. Pricing, Phillips, and Volchenkov. And Pricing with a fine play there. Melakar zooms back. Staal flexing it at the line. Armstrong going after Wade Redden, and heel clear. Redden, like the good point guard in basketball, the quarterback in football, he sees the ice so well.
And there's no panic to his game. When you think about the Ottawa Senators with the new financial restraints, they came out of the lockout. They had to make some decisions. Zdeno Chara, free agent, goes to the Boston Bruins because they wanted to keep Wade Redden.
Imagine what Ottawa would be if they had Big C on their back line now. Chara left town. Brian Pothier went to greener pastures in Washington. Just to show you how deep that Senator blue line core has been. And with all their offensive might, this Ottawa team that has been tormented in the playoffs in the past is closing in on advancing. Gonchar streaming back into the offensive zone. Drive secured by Phillips. Malkin leaves it back behind the cage. Schubert is there. As Senators fans are singing so long to Pittsburgh. Alfredson down the wing. Nice pass. Spezza tried to make one more, and Crosby was parked in good position. 3-on-2 back from the Penguins. Whitney on the drive. Malkin with a drive right to the glove of Ray Emery. It's all working for Ottawa against Pittsburgh.
Switch to Valvoline's Max Life, and there's no telling how long your car will keep going. Max Life not only protects against friction, but also leaks, deposits, and sludge, the 4 major causes of high-mileage engine breakdown. Long live your car.
The only thing more exciting than watching the Tour de France on Versus is to watch it live at the finish line. The Ride of Your Life Sweepstakes, brought to you by Versus and Hampton Hotels. Book a room at any Hampton hotel on Hampton.com. Enter the promo code TOUR, and you'll be entered to win one of 2 grand prize trips to Paris, with VIP seating to watch the 2007 Tour come to a dramatic finish. Don't let this ride pass you by. The Ride of Your Life Sweepstakes, and watch the Tour de France on Versus.
Mike! Who's counting on your brakes today? Come to Midas and get brake pads or shoes for just $89.95 per axle installed. Be safe. Just a Midas touch.
If kids love to eat healthy, you wouldn't need the nutrients in Florida orange juice. 1 8-ounce glass counts as almost 25% of your fruit and vegetable servings. Florida orange juice. Healthy, pure, and simple.
The NHL Stanley Cup Playoffs on Versus is brought to you by Esurance. Make it your goal to save on auto insurance. Visit esurance.com today.
Scotiabank Place, filled with the red-clad crazies, about to celebrate in earnest, it appears. 4 minutes, 6 seconds away, 3-0. Mario Lemieux, Sidney Crosby on your screen there, and Andy Brickley with those 2, one in an ownership role and one obviously in a star-studded role. The future of the franchise for Pittsburgh is in very, very good shape. Think about what the Penguins have done. They were next to last in the 30-team NHL just 1 season ago. A 47-point turnaround this year. Ryan Whitney will sail out of his own zone. Crosby connects with Roberts. Gary Roberts angled by Phillips. A turnover here from the sharp angle that was kicked aside. Anton Volchenkov has returned to the ice. Good news for Senators fans. 24 Reds out there.
Probably a case of one of those stingers when you get hit real hard. A certain area of the body numbs up a little bit. You need a little bit of attention. Good to see him back.
6-7 minutes ago, he was freight trained by Gary Roberts. 3 minutes and change to go in this third period. Ottawa flexing all of its offensive muscle in the second frame. Got all 3 goals. Stahl. Hochcheck had it swiped by Fisher. Fisher dancing down the wing, met there by Eaton. As Jordan Stahl gets crunched along the glass. A centering feed for Comrie that was chipped away by Ryan Malone. An outstanding performance in an elimination game by the Ottawa Senators. In front of their fans, the locals have had plenty to cheer about, as this Ottawa team has given Pittsburgh precious little on offense. Fans in a sellout capacity crowd continuing to voice their pleasure. The Pittsburgh Penguins trying to crack through Ray Emery. There's no room. Turnover. Spezza's in. Takes it for a little skate. Works with Alfredson. Playing to the corner, a pass to himself. Colby Armstrong, the central figure of this series back when we were in Pittsburgh for his hit on Patrick Eaves. And to a man, the player said it was clean. Scotiabank Place, the faithful rising to their feet. They are going to roar their heroes home for the last 90 seconds. Chris Neal, who set up a marker in the second, able to clear it. Neal driving back along with Vermette. 125 away from the second round. The Ottawa Senators trying to join the New York Rangers in the Eastern Conference parade. Malkin, a frustrating series for him. Spins it back along the goal line. Claimed by Phillips. Without a doubt, one of the heroes for Ottawa in this 5-game series win.
Well, just one goal scored for the Pittsburgh Penguins over the last 6 period. Ray Emery has been better than solid over the last 2 games. We've talked a lot about the contributions, Joe, from the third and fourth lines. Impressive.
Comrie misses the mark with 40 to go. You could make the case that Emery helped win this hockey game in the first 5 minutes tonight.
No doubt about it. And the play and production of the Ottawa defense, Chris Phillips, Anton Volchenkov, and the great penalty killing by the Senators over the last 3 games. Joe, that's all evidence of the deep and balanced and talented Ottawa club.
Down to 20 to go. Pittsburgh GM Ray Shero, improvements for the long haul, no snap judgments. This Penguins team is going to be a threat in the future. But in this first round series, they did not have any answers for the high-flying Ottawa Senators as they will hear the roar down the stretch. A 19-save whitewash for Ray Emery and jubilation at Scotiabank Place. And as is customary at the end of a Stanley Cup playoff series, all the tradition and sportsmanship of the handshakes and high fives. Ottawa wins this first round quarterfinal, 4-1. Five hard-fought games. Colby Armstrong in the middle of the fray with Mike Fisher, those two hard-hitting forwards. Gary Roberts and Chris Neal, they've been at each other's throats. Sidney Crosby, there will be better days for him and for the Penguins. In just 2 seasons in the Bigs, he has earned so much respect, as has Ray Emery for his performance in this series. But when Crosby meets Emery, those two will tangle on the horizon. Plenty of words of encouragement for the Penguins and Crosby. They have been dispatched in 5. We head down to ice level. Here's Bob Harwood.
Joe, thank you very much. Danny, as much as there was some emotion in this series, prepared is such a great way of describing this team so far.
Yeah, I think we've really played well from the end of the season and in this first round. I think everybody's contributing, everyone's scoring, everyone's playing defense, and it's fun to play.
How much do you relax as a group of 3 or 4 big guns when you know you've got that much firepower depth in April like this?
Well, you know, that's been our focus from Christmas on. I think our success has been that. I mean, everybody playing, everybody contributing, and it's nice to know that. I think it's our job to score goals, but it's also our job to play defense, and I think you're seeing that from the other 3 lines as well.
With your age and your time in Atlanta, it's a bit of a different question, but what did the youngest guys in Pittsburgh learn out of this, do you think?
You know, it's tough to say in particular. I mean, I know we learned a lot from last year, the guys that hadn't played in the playoffs before, and just to prepare us for this year.
Nice to have a bit of a break, probably?
Yeah, I think we got some guys that have some nagging injuries, some nicks here and there, and it'd be good to have a couple days off.
Upper or lower for yourself and a few other guys? It is obviously vague in playoff time, but every time this team seems to have an injury, you get other people stepping in. There's more courage, it seems like, this time around. Is that a fair statement?
That's like I said before. I mean, we've had a lot of injuries, a lot of adversity. Some big guys go down for us all through the year, and different guys have stepped up. I mean, guys like Chris Kelly and Chris Neal and Verme, and it's just fun to be a part of.
Danny, congratulations. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Okay, Joe.
Bob and Danny, thank you very much. The Ottawa Senators fans thrilled with their team's performance, and justifiably so, Andy. They were excellent in this series.
Yeah, I think it was pretty evident the difference between these two clubs, despite the fact that they finished the season with identical number of points with 105, and it's a 4-5 matchup, and really a shame that one of these two teams was not going to advance beyond the first round. I think it was clearly evident that the experience by the Ottawa Senators from a year ago was really the difference. They were more relaxed. They played with more commitment, not more commitment, just they played with more of a sense of purpose, and they believed in themselves, and they were much deeper than the Pittsburgh Penguins. And the Pittsburgh Penguins, young and unexperienced, impressive, tremendously gifted, the Pittsburgh Penguins, particularly their offensive guys. But the difference was the experienced team, and a team that had been there was going to win this series.
Very true. The Senators have never lost to an Atlantic Division team in the first round. They add Pittsburgh to their list of victims. And when you think of Pittsburgh, a spectacular regular season for them, they're going to be challenging for years to come. Ottawa trying to chase away playoff demons from its past. The experienced Senators, too much for the upstart Penguins in this series. Ray Emery, victorious, showing his playoff medal. The captain, Daniel Alfredsson, all of the bone-crunching hits in this series. And the Senators prevail in 5, 4 games to 1, winning Game 5 in shutout fashion 3-0. For Andy Brickley, for Bob Harwood, for all the men and women in our hardworking Versus crew, Joe Beninati thanking you for your time. It's a busy playoff night on Versus. Plenty more hockey to come. But for now, let's get you back to Hockey Central. At Versus, it's Bill Clement, Ryan Engblom, and Keith Jones. Senators moving on to round 2.
All right, Joe, thank you very much. Congratulations to the Ottawa Senators. They advance in 5 games. First career playoff shutout for Ray Emery, and the first shutout in the playoffs for the Ottawa Senators since 2003 when Patrick Lalime was their goaltender. And, gentlemen, Ray Emery didn't even have to be that good in this series for the Sens to win in 5.
Yeah, that's true, Bill. And it's the epitome of the game, I think, tonight, where Pittsburgh ended up being 0 for 7 on the power play. Pittsburgh had some really good chances in this game, especially early on, to get something going, and it was just too good a coverage. That, along with the middle of the order guys that we talked about, Kelly coming through, Daniel Alfredsson with an outstanding series. He had 6 points as well too. So Ottawa just all the way around too much for them.
More depth for Ottawa as well. You look at their top 4 lines. They played consistently. Everybody was involved in the offense. Everybody was involved in the ice time. Guys who killed penalties, did a good job. They were strong in the corners. They outmuscled the Pittsburgh Penguins. They were clearly the better team.
We should point out, though, that the Penguins were given their opportunities. Perhaps it was their youth, but at some point, execution had to make the difference for the Penguins. They were presented with 3 delay of game penalties that the Senators took. Yeah. One, also too many men on the ice. They couldn't do anything with the power play that scored more goals than any team in the NHL this year.
That's right. They had more goals than anybody. And I think the epitome of it, too, I saw so many times in this game again tonight where Sidney Crosby is on the attack, and he's 1 against 4. And he's trying to make something happen, but nobody, not even Sidney Crosby, can go against 4 guys. And just it was a surrounding situation, literally, by the Ottawa Senators. Malkin couldn't get anything going. Mark Recchi was trying to grind in the corners and create something coming out of there. It wasn't happening.
And the injury there at the end, one of the key factors as Ottawa moves on, whether Volchenkov is going to be okay after Gary Roberts made the big hit down in the corner right there. Don't know if shoulder or whatever it was, but Volchenkov went off the ice, but he did return to the bench in the last couple of minutes of the game, did not play any or take any shifts, but he's been an absolute force for the Ottawa Senators all year long. He is their key shutdown defenseman, leads them in block shots. He's been a great player, so hopefully from Ottawa's standpoint, he'll be back.
Well, he's got a chance to rest now that the Sens have wrapped it up in 5. And a busy night of hockey here on Versus. When we come back, we're going to have you out to Calgary. The Flames won Game 3 tonight. Game 4, Red Wings and Flames from Calgary.
Hey, neighbor,
Getting the 3-burner grill, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going with 4-burner with
infrared technology. Oh, is that the 4-seater?
Yeah.
Mine seats 6. Oh, and he's got the beverage center.
I go with the choice deck or the Trex.
My deck's gonna be 10 by 15. Maybe 2 decks.
At Lowe's, you'll find everything you need to make your backyard the best one on the block.
Check out the gazebo.
You got a gazebo.
Lowe's. Let's build something together.
Use your Lowe's consumer card and pay nothing for 12 months on any purchase of $299 or more.
Welcome to Davis. Can I help you, sir?
I'll take this one.
Davis gives you free music downloads on iTunes, so you can rock every time you roll.
When the IRS levied my business and personal accounts, I didn't know where to turn. My CPA recommended American Tax Relief.
If you owe over $10,000 to the IRS or state, call American Tax Relief for a free consultation.
Look, the IRS is offering you a one-time opportunity to settle your debt. This is your 1 second chance. Use it well.
I thought I was going to lose my business, but American Tax Relief got me a second chance.
Call 1-800-TAX-HELP for your free consultation.
Sunday, apex predators fight to survive. On planet Carnivore, brown bears struggle for supremacy. Polar bears search desperately for food. Some run from their enemies. Others are running out of time. On Planet Carnivore, new episodes premiere Sunday with polar bears at 9, king bear at 10 on Channel 186. The National Geographic Channel.
The NHL Stanley Cup Playoffs on Versus is brought to you by Verizon Wireless, official wireless service provider of the NHL, and by refreshingly smooth Bud Light, always worth it.
And welcome back, everyone. We'll get you out to Calgary for Game 4, Red Wings and Calgary Flames in just a moment, but we want to go back to Ottawa where Bob Harwood is standing by with the winning goaltender, Ray Emery.
Bill, thank you very much. Ray, how much of a confidence builder is this? Obviously, a series win is something, but did this team need this to be this well-oiled as a machine early on?
Yeah, I think we play in a different style than we've played in the past. It definitely limited their chances and stuck to the defensive plan we had, and you know, generated our offense off of some of their mistakes just by playing good defense.
Is that an adjustment from mid-season where there were some ups and downs, or are you talking about a transition from last year to this year in terms of playoff preparation?
Well, mainly last year to this year, and the start of this year when we struggled, you know, gave up a lot of chances and kind of figured out that we couldn't play that run and gun style that we've been playing in the past and really tighten things up.
This morning I talked to a bunch of guys about Pittsburgh's urgency and that means shots are going to be fired more at will and just bombard you with pucks. Did you think of it in those terms tonight, knowing that they had nothing to lose, that they'd simplify and shoot a bit more?
No, you know, I just kind of worried about what I can control, not too worried about the other team's game plan, but you know, we definitely knew they'd be a desperate team and come hard, and they did that, you know, especially at the start, and once we got a lead, I thought we did a good job to really limit their chances.
Quiet confidence was a great response, Ray. Thanks very much for everything. Bill, back to you.
Bob, thanks very much. The deepest Ray Emery has gone into the playoffs last year to the second round. He gets to go back to the second round this year. Okay, now to Calgary, Game 4, Detroit and Calgary. Here, Don Whitman and Drew Remender from CBC.
Back of the net, takes a look, decides to put it up high on the glass. It goes all the way out to center ice. Very alert play there by Kiprasov.
He doesn't play the puck very often, but when he does, he's very sure about it.
Chelios for Holmstrom. He'll dump it in. Back after it is Hamilton. He has Datsuk on him. Phaneuf, who took the big hit from Cleary in the third period, came back to finish the game, partnered with Hammerlick back on the blue line. Robin Regeer out of the lineup again. Conroy tried to center. Datsuk has it. Datsuk Coming out of his own zone slowly up along the boards. He was looking there for Samuelson. Missed him with the pass. Brad Stewart will fire it back into Red Wing territory. Filppula trying to turn to avoid a check. He's knocked down. Penalty coming up against the Calgary Flames.
Alex Tanguay goes into the box. Filppula is a guy who's going to get more ice time. Mike Babcock would like to see Valtteri Filppula get more ice time because the minutes that he's played, about 8.5 in this series, he's been very effective at it. There's too much of the hook. Stick on pucks, can't be on bodies. And that's something that Jim Playfair really stressed to his guys yesterday and today in video meetings.
They wanted to avoid early penalties. And now we welcome viewers all across the country to this fourth game of the Calgary-Detroit series. 3 minutes and 30 seconds in, and the Red Wings are on the power play. Cleary goes to the corner for Bertuzzi. Bertuzzi back to the line. Schneider to Cleary at the side of the net. Cleary once again has lost his helmet. It seems to be a game occurrence for Cleary to lose that lid. Cleary has it again. Cleary takes his time, looks back to the line. Schneider leads the team in shots. Over to Lidstrom, his shot. Bouncing puck in the crease area. Lang took a swipe at it, knocked it wide. Stewart goes to the corner after it. 1 minute remaining in the penalty to Tanguay. Clearing attempt blocked. Schneider wheels and fires. That's deflected wide. Finally, the Flames gain control, and Stefan Yell brings it up ice and dumps it down into Red Wing territory. That enables the Flames and the Red Wings to make changes.
The Red Wings only 2 for 19 on the power play. Mike Babcock said, you know what, it doesn't matter how dynamic it is, as long as it scores at the right time. And this would be the right time.
Samuelson back at the line, quickly over to Lidstrom. Back to Samuelson, the shot is blocked, and the Flames knock it out to center ice. Lombardi, he blocked the shot, dumps it down to the ice, and he gets a response from the crowd after good work on the penalty kill. 13 seconds remaining in the power play. Zuzan flips it back to the net, comes right out front, and the Flames break out of their own zone. A 2-on-1 pass over to Iginla, and Iginla had problems knocking down the pass from Conroy, and now Tanguay back on the ice as the Flames have successfully killed off the first penalty against them. Lanko attempting to center, and that was deflected right to the doorstep of goaltender Dominik Hasek. Kiprusoff for Stewart. Stewart goes back to the net. Warner around the boards for Moss. Dumped out to center ice. Huselius has it. No shots for the Red Wings on the first power play of the game. Steal by Conroy. Conroy couldn't get a shot away. He got turned around. Good recovery by Franzen. Back after it goes Hammerlick. Good pace to this hockey game in the first 5 minutes. Here's Tanguay in across the line, looking for Moss. He was tied up. The puck goes back of the net. Moss goes after it. Tanguay had gone to the front of the net. Hammerlick now will fire it behind the goal. Moss tried to center it. Tangay's knocked down. Schneider will be going on. Back to the line. Phaneuf moves it across. Hammerlick fakes, lets the shot go. Loose puck, knocked wide by Conroy. Tried to center it, and the Red Wings Draper finally drives it the length of the ice. Well, the Red Wings with an early power play. Now the Flames will have one.
Nothing brings people together like boating. Get started with your free DVD at discoverboating.com.
There are times you gotta ask yourself, do you think you've got the torque? Or do you know you've got the torque? Get Q Torque Power for trucks. Heat activated to help more of your engine's power reach the road. No leading synthetic motor oil delivers more torque than Q Torque Power. Full synthetic Q Torque Power for trucks. Unleash all your horses.
Your shoes untied, Bob. Your shoes untied, Bob. Your shoes untied, Bob. Your shoes untied.
Sprint rugged phones. Built to military specs. Tested for toughness. Because it's a cruel world out there. Businesses get the rugged Sanyo 7050 or the Motorola IC502 for $59.99. Visit sprint.com/business.
Sprint. Power up.
Matthew Schneider in the box for cross-checking. Pretty evident penalty right in front of the net. Just two hands across the back. Alex Tanguay goes down, and then when the Flames had pulled their goaltender for the extra attacker, dynamite chance for Conroy. Just misses as Dominic Hasek fights off the puck right into the crease.
Langko will take the face-off. Datsuk opposes him and wins the draw, and that enables the Red Wings to drive the puck the length of the ice. Hammerlock and Phaneuf back on the points. Lead pass for Langko, too far, and the Flames have to retreat again. Zetterberg is in forechecking. Phaneuf moves it across to Hammerlock. McGinley dumps it to the corner. He gives chase. Flips it around the boards. Hammerlock at the point. Hammerlock moves cross ice. Phaneuf had moved in. Phaneuf has the puck behind his back for McGinley. McGinley leaves it there for Langko. Back to the line. Hammerlock for Phaneuf. A shot up high and wide. Huselius. And I think we're going to get a penalty here against Dominic Hasek.
I believe you are correct, and Dominic Hasek. Now Mike Babcock is going to want to have a conversation with the official on this. He's asking for the official to come over to have a talk. Explain. Dominic Hasek gets elbowed by Joe McGinley. Now,
I think he's calling him for diving.
Well,
isn't he?
I think it's the reaction after, when Dominic Hasek reaches out with his stick at Joe McGinley. I don't know if he did an unsportsmanlike conduct, but McGinley then should have been called also for the elbow on Dominic Hasek. Remember back late in the year when Joe McGinley, well, who knows, was a phantom elbow to Dominic Hasek. He went down, took the dive. Goal was scored on that play. After the game, Mike Babcock called out his own goaltender and said, we know that wasn't a check. We know that Dominic took a dive. We will not stand for that by our own goaltender. But what he did then, when he called out his own goaltender, he also put the NHL on notice to say, hey, listen, if he goes down, he's been bumped. And right there, he was bumped.
Zetterberg is going to serve the penalty, but I think Dominic also enhanced the bump just a little.
Yeah, I agree, but when you make contact with the goaltender, when the goaltender's in the crease, you got to call that as well. It should be back and forth. It should be one to each guy.
Tanguay back on the point for McGinley. McGinley in front. Couldn't get a shot away. Langko is stopped. Tanguay moves it across. Phaneuf slides it into the corner. Langko in front of the net. Back to the line. Tanguay. Tanguay moves in. Lets the shot go. Actually, it was a pass intended for Huselius. Couldn't redirect it. March was the dive by
Dominic
Hasek.
Took a dive. He said that it was an elbow. It wasn't an elbow. Mike Babcock came out and said, you know what? We don't stand for that with our goaltender. Definitely Jordan did not make contact there, but without a doubt, he made contact on that last knock on Dominic Hasek. That's why Mike Babcock wanted the conversation with you first. Say, hey, listen, if he goes down now, it's because he got bumped.
40 seconds remaining in this two-man advantage. The Flames trying to gain the zone. Tanguay back at the line. Tanguay moves it into McGinley. McGinley takes a look to Tanguay. Tanguay cross ice. Phaneuf can't shoot it. Back to McGinley. There's Tanguay, the one-timer. He didn't get good wood on it, and the Red Wings are able to clear. 15 seconds remaining in the two-man disadvantage for the Jets. McGinley comes up ice, goes in deep, looks out front, deflected away from Huselius. In front, they score! Langko!
A guy that Jim Playfair said had to have a better game, had to get a new level in his game. Damon Lanko standing in front. He's got all kinds of time. It was a good defensive play initially as the Flames entered the zone by Lilia, but nobody for the Red Wings recovered to come back out front and take Damon Lanko. Everybody moves to one side. Chilios is going to come in late from behind the net. And that is upstairs. That's a heck of a shot by Damon Lanko. And the Flames get on the board that very important first goal.
And Damon Lanko was standing there uncovered, calling for the pass. He got it and had the time to put it up top, and a 1-0 Calgary lead.
Something that Mike Babcock did not want to have happen was penalties happen early in the game because he felt last game it took his team out of rhythm. This game, they may be out of rhythm again. He's going to try to get him back.
Tanguay and Ginla draw the assists on Lanko's first goal of the playoffs, coming at 8:29 of this opening period. Bertuzzi banked it off the boards, fired down the ice by the Flames, and this will be an icing call and bring the faceoff back into the Calgary zone. 11:15 remaining in the first.
This portion of the Stanley Cup playoffs on CBC is brought to you by Ford, built for life in Canada, and by BudLight.ca, proud sponsor of the Stanley Cup playoffs and Canada's Superfan. Go to BudLight.ca to find out more.
4 shots by the Flames so far in this opening period. They have the only goal, the power play tally. Detroit has scored 7 even-strength goals. Ginla's game winner the other night, the first even-strength goal by the Calgary Flames, and the power play produces the first goal of this hockey game. Amante cuts in front of his own net, tries a pass that's picked off by Franzen. Schneider brings it back. Stewart a little slow in going back after the dump in, now up to Amante. He moves it ahead to Stefan Yell. Yell winds and fires, that steered away. Yell taken in back of the net by Lidstrom. Filppula picks up the puck. Some line juggling on the part of Coach Mike Babcock, trying to get Filppula a little more ice time. Samuelsson comes up with it in the corner. Takes a shot from a sharp angle. And Filppula was there in front of the net trying to redirect. Filppula only has 3 shots on goal, has played less time than any other Red Wing, still has 2 goals. Here's Nielsen moving in, stopped by Hasha.
Big save. Tough change for the Detroit Red Wings. As Lidstrom came off the ice, they couldn't get the D on quick enough, and a great transition pass by the Flames.
I don't think that Nielsen realized he had that much time when he came in and was stopped by Dominic
Hasha. What good is an SUV that can go everywhere if you can't afford to go anywhere? At 28 miles per gallon highway, the Subaru Outback has better fuel efficiency than any midsize SUV and the safety of all-wheel drive standard.
Every day is a winding road. I get a little bit closer.
Lease the Outback for $239 per month during the Subaru All-Wheel Deal sales event.
Special agent, they're trying to stop you from saving time and money on auto insurance. Here's the play.
Quote by print. Got it, Coach.
When there's only seconds on the clock, Esurance gives you a fast break.
From all the hassle of buying auto insurance, you don't have to jump through hoops.
At Esurance, instant comparison quotes let you screen prices yourself.
So you can net yourself some savings.
It's a slam dunk. Save time and money on auto insurance. Visit Esurance.com today.
Sunday, apex predators fight to survive. On planet Carnivore, brown bears struggle for supremacy. Polar bears search desperately for food. Some run from their enemies. Others are running out of time. on Planet Carnivore. New episodes premiere Sunday with polar bears at 9, king bear at 10 on Channel 186, the National Geographic Channel.
Marcus Nielsen at the Flames bench, still shaking his head at his inability to beat Dominik Hasek.
Dial. A terrible change by the Detroit Red Wings. Lister came off. Schneider couldn't get on in time. What a terrific save by Dominik. He owed the team that one, I guess. 6-1, the shots on goal for the Flames. In every game in this series, including the winner the other night by the Flames, they have been outshot. 30-28 was the margin in that one. Huselius tried to find Iginla breaking in across the line. The far corner, Lanko with no other option but to try and bank it off the glass, and it's whistled down as Iginla in the neutral zone contacted with a high stick. Interestingly, Jerome Iginla's goal was the first post-lockout goal he has scored against the Detroit Red Wings, and it was